Strictly Patrick here. This is my March 8th, 2024 stream. I had a few issues, so I just decided to cut this together into a video. If you enjoy my content, feel free to check me out. I typically do live stream every Friday at 8:30 Central. And if you really want to check me out further, feel free to go find me on Patreon, Discord, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, or here on YouTube. Feel free to give me a like, follow if you enjoy the content, and thank you so very much. I thought that I would be able to easily put this video up there, but apparently that's just not going to be my way tonight.
I guess he felt it.
What we're going to do is just restart the stream over. Not my stream, his stream. And so Mr. Metokur is covering a couple things going on in current event news right now. I'm sure some of you, especially if you've been around on Twitter, have seen that, well, a couple months ago, back in December, there was a video released on from Hbomberguy on James Somerton. And there's some illusion that James Somerton might have ended game, and that has led to some fallout for Hbomberguy. This fallout content isn't even good lord. This fallout has kind of come across Jim's desk, and Jim had a little bit of a history with Hbomberguy. And so I thought it would be worth it to cover his stream, and now you guys should be able to see the stream. Now we're back to normal. I'm just not used to doing this live, so I don't know how this is gonna play out with the end here, so we may have to wing it, which is not what I really wanted to do, but hey, that's what we're doing. But yeah, Jim has a little bit of a history with Hbomberguy relating back to a forum called, well, a couple different forums. There's Encyclopedia, Dramatica, Something Awful, and then his namesake, which is actually the Metokur forums. Well, the Metokur forums, they're a now defunct forum site. Previously, they covered a lot of the same type of drama and things going on, or just different goings-ons, just in online sphere. They're kind of like Kiwi Farms before Kiwi Farms would probably be the best way to explain things. And just gonna check one more thing here. But so they were kind of Kiwi Farms before Kiwi Farms. And that, all right, now we're back to normal setup. And that's kind of where Jim started out. I mean, he would go on to these different forums in different places, and he'd find just, weird, unusual people to cover, kind of similar to myself. And instead of, back then, you didn't really live stream or anything like that. You typically would do videos, and videos even back then when he started out actually had a time limit to them. So he'd have multiple videos coming out, multi-parters, so to speak, because of just YouTube's time constraints and everything back then. But he eventually kind of migrated into doing live streaming, and he's covered a variety of different topics, from furries, and was there for Gamergate. He was there for internet blood sports, and kind of the birth of that. He was definitely around for the birth of that, definitely participated in that. So he's known people like Andy Warski. He's known Ethan Ralph for a long time, and has even been kind of credited more or less with being the person to kind of get Ethan Ralph going. So, which is kind of interesting when you think about it, that there's a man behind the man, so to speak. I'm just trying to get my screensaver going here, but because it kind of provides a little more light in the background. I apologize. Okay, so that is going. We are good. What else? There's a Sargon of Akkad he kind of fought with. There's no Wolfie, no. How you doing, Teddy? I saw you fighting with Kim Jong-un. I was talking about that a little bit. That I got the Discord, and I've got a couple different bots in there, and you decided to pick a fight with Kim Jong-un. But anyway, furries, Sargon of Akkad, Kraut and Tea, there's a lot of just different history to cover. A lot of it's funny. Mundane Matt was another character that came across his fold. And so Hbomberguy, coming from that same side, he kind of had a bit of a change of heart. So did this guy that ran and created the Metokur forums. So Jim thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of a stream, kind of maybe calling out, so to speak, Hbomberguy on some of his actions and some of his deeds and his past, because everybody's kind of either saying that he's just an innocent guy, or that like he's in no way, shape, or form responsible for this James Somerton thing, which I do agree with. But let's start playing the stream. We'll see what kind of pops up here.
Crawling itself out of its decrepit crypt, shambling its way back onto social media. I see all the
at least
talking about it.
What I can do.
All the talking heads demanding that Donald Trump tweet about it. Of course, we'll talk about that. How can I not? Being forced to talk about this shit.
Oh, there's also some other additional news. Gamergate 2 is apparently becoming a thing now. So for those of us who haven't been around for Gamergate 1, World War 1 in the YouTube sphere, be prepared for World War 2. Basically, the whole Gamergate 2 thing, to kind of sum it up really quickly, there's this company out there called Sweet Baby that kind of ranks video game producers, video game companies based on their cultural diversity. Let's put it that way, because I don't like using the word woke. So like, you know, if you've got a Asian lesbian lead as your video game main character, you know, that's going to rank higher on their spectrum than, say, you know, cisgendered white male, which would probably be slightly below turd. So that's kind of what their whole shtick is. And if you don't play their game, apparently they're calling these companies out, and you kind of get a bad rating and you get a bad rap, and it's hard for you to produce and put your game out there. So it's kind of crappy all the way around, I'm not gonna lie. But that's kind of the big thing going on right now. Of course, the initial Gamergate, which I did cover with my first stream, started with again similar premise, I will say, a bit different. Female creators and female video game creator specifically, and her deeds behind the scenes to get her game a better ranking, and just how, you know, sexist and all this everything was, and how it needs to be more inclusive and everything, which I don't mind, I don't care. But at the same time, it's video games. Who gives a fuck? You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want. It's not real. It's, who gives a shit? Like, I've gotten into the whole like Baldur's Gate 3 thing and all that for playing games, and even Cyberpunk and all that. You know, you can pick male, female. You can be a male playing a female. You can be a female playing a female. You can be trans playing a female. You can pick whatever race you want. You can pick hair colors that don't exist to grow naturally. Like, I don't know what else you want. Eye colors that don't naturally exist in the world. I mean, other than being an actual furry in the game, which maybe that's where we're having our problems. You can pretty much be whoever the fuck you want to be, and for the most part, who gives a shit? But anyway, that's my spiel on that. So Metokur's going to be covering that Gamergate 2, like I said, the Hbomberguy thing, which I'm kind of interested to see the whole history with Hbomberguy. It was something that I really kind of wanted to cover at some point, because in studying and learning a bit about Mr. Metokur, I learned that Hbomberguy's kind of got a bit of a history, and even watching some of his older videos, he's a bit of a spicy personality when he was a younger guy, and he's kind of very different now. Same thing goes for the Hbomberguy guy that started up the Metokur forums. So let's watch the beginning of the stream, see what we get into, and kind of go from there.
Do we need to get on up? Should we do a little wiggle wiggle like our favorite piggy boy? Do a little dance, a little hooting and hollering, a little shuffle tail over here. Oh boy.
If you hear him talking about Pigger Boy or any other combination thereof, just know that that's in regards to Mr. Foghorn Leghorn himself, Ethan Ralph. And that's exactly who he's referring to with all that. So,
Boy, Gamergate's back, and the gamers it's the revenge of the gamers. Oh, this is what you get for all those microtransactions. We're getting whores out of video games for sure this time, guys. No more women allowed. Gamer girls, we're coming for you. That's all it's about. It's about getting all the chicks out of games. Fuck ethics. This is misogyny time. That's right. Shattuck agrees with me. All these whores need to learn a lesson. That's what Sargon told me. I talked to Sargon before the stream chat, and he told me explicitly, Jim. He put down his tray of entrees, and he said, Jim, thank you for coming to the restaurant. First thing he said, he's a great waiter. But he said, Jim.
All right, so if you, there's a little slight joke there. So he has this thing with Sargon of Akkad. So there's a very famous picture of this gentleman when he had his big day on the hill in Parliament, because he's over across the ocean in the United Kingdom. He got all fancied up and dressed up in a $10 suit, and was seen posing with people and everything else, and kind of called Jim out a little bit in a post on Twitter, and was making fun of him, saying that Jim doesn't even own a suit. Well, this guy kind of did look like a manager you'd see down at your local Applebee's. And so it kind of was funny because Jim's just kind of taking that and running with it.
We got to teach these sluts a lesson. Women aren't people. This is verbatim what Sargon told me. Women are not people, Jim. Vaginas are disgusting holes. They smell, and they leak blood, and they don't deserve to touch our precious video games. And this time, Jim, I'm fucking serious. No more Mr. Nice Guy, Jim. I deleted all the videos on my channel, and I'm renaming it for Sargon of Akkad to Whore Killer 44, my gamer tag. And it's time. It's time, buddy, to put these bitches in their place. I look forward to those quotes being used by Kotaku. Can you believe it? Sargon of Akkad said that? Oh my god. Holy shit. He's gone off the deep end. He's become a radical right-winger. Super fucking based! Sargon's gonna kill whores! Oh my god, it's based! It's coming for him. But that's not really the focus of the show today. Instead, we're gonna be talking about something else, about the insatiable bloodlust of a madman who's hunting down homosexual content creators on the internet. It's scary. It's a scary thing. There are other things. We've got a little segment dedicated to a long-lost person. Somebody that died recently that fucked up the entire internet, apparently got drug cartels or some shit to hold a ceasefire, which is fucking amazing. Everybody loves Dragon Ball. Everybody on Earth loves Dragon Ball. Fucking ceasefire to drug cartels. I think the Israelis and the Palestinians called a timeout. Like, the Jews decided they're not going to bulldoze people's houses for like a day or two, so everybody can sit down, have some popcorn, and watch like Dragon Ball Super or something. It's having like a knock-on effect. It's a domino thing around the world. Everybody misses him. And because everybody misses him, I've got a special dedication to him. Actually, it's a special guest. A special guest has come on to do a dedicated song to his memory. It's very heartfelt. Maybe we'll open with that. But before we even get to that, before we get to really anything, talking about people hunting people on the internet, Gamergate and Sargon's revenge, Akira Toriyama and what's happened with him, you've got to be a whore. I'm a filthy, filthy whore.
Oh, he's gonna shuck his hats. All right, so let's get it right.
Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st due to acute subdural hematoma.
So this is kind of unrelated to anything I really want to cover, so I think we're gonna kind of go forward a little bit. I'm not here to cover news for someone dying that created Dragon Ball Z, especially because I've never seen the show.
Where there's just random audio and video of people, and you never really stumble across.
Not saying he's not a good guy, not saying the show's not a good show. But what I am saying is I don't really care. I'm not here for that.
Sit until some awkward moment, like some guy sings a funeral tribute to Akira Toriyama, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, there's audio of people calling his mom asking about the kitty diddling. And since we've got, what, like 14K people watching, let's delve into some of it. I'm sure this will be super helpful for Chibi as he tries to get that job teaching children in Japan. This won't fuck his career up at all. Oh my god. That's mean. That's Jim, you're being mean. He's trying to get a job in Japan teaching children. Why would you send me to 14,000 people play audio? So the gentleman that he's talking about right now, Chibi, good old Chibi. Chibi is a speedrunner, speedrunning game player, and so he, oh god, I think his big call, name to fame, whatever you want to call it, is going on to some speedrunning event, and he played Halo. Actually, no. Chibi was the guy that originally was, it was his birthday or something else. He was at a speedrunning event.
The Halo guy is a totally different guy, by the way. Chibi was at this speedrunning event. They found out it was his birthday, and they brought him up and they put him on the couch. And let's just say this guy's really, really weird. Okay, so Chibi, please be quiet. Let me show you Chibi here.
$50 from Anonymous. Here's $50 for the most awkward.
So this is Chibi here. Chibi was at the speedrunning event. This gentleman's playing right now, and he knows a little bit about this game. So what the runners of this particular slot of this event did was they're like, oh hey, come sit up on the couch with us. So while he's doing his speed run, you can watch, firsthand right up on the couch while he's doing a speed run. That's, I think, a friend of this guy's here. And oh god, I'm so excited to get to that point. I'm so excited to get to that because that's been brought across his table a couple times. I was just letting known that Metokur's aware and has made fun of Keffels and tipsters. So we're gonna have some real fun tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Chibi, anyway, is kind of an awkward and talkative dude through this guy's trying to concentrate on this speedrun, and like speedrunning is a serious deal, okay? And I'm not a speedrunner, but I've been watching quite a few. Like, these guys are super serious about this.
Moment I've ever seen on stream had me laughing uncomfortable bliss for 10 minutes.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Welcome back, guys. We're just getting ready for the next game.
This looks fun. Oh, it is. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, everyone. I am Caveman DCJ, and this is Tomba 2.
So he's playing this game, right? Well, let's watch how quickly this guy gets sick, because we even have a timer up here from the go of how long it takes him to get sick of this guy sitting next to him.
Bubsy has. It's weird.
This is still one of the funniest videos.
Pants, but I would say I wear jeans today.
Yeah, you're not dressed for the occasion.
I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
Neither.
I recommend all viewers to go get a nice cup of joe, perhaps a bagel.
Dude, I love bagels.
Just sit back and enjoy some breakfast, Tomba.
Asiago cheese bagel. Yummy.
I believe you.
This game definitely has an interesting playstyle to it.
How do you mean?
Well, like most games in this kind of style are like sort of 2D scroll or 3D scrollers, whereas this one is kind of has another dimension to it.
Yeah, it's like 2.5D.
2.5D is yeah. This
Get used to this song if anyone's listening.
Yeah.
All right. So we're at
the character design of this game
2 minutes and 30 seconds right now.
All right. This is an amazing time for donations, like just this game in general.
All right, well, we have $20 from iNiffy. Here's $20. You can have it. Maybe it'll come in useful. And we have $5 from...
But we're not going to, because I like the boomerang.
Boomerang hype?
Oh, man.
So this is the case where getting crabs is a good thing?
He thinks he's so funny. I hate to... This guy is the most awkward.
Never seen crabs used that way.
And you won't ever again. That is the end of the crab section of the run.
Ripped crabs. Yes! Fast pants.
They make you go fast.
I want one now.
This is a cut down version of this too, by the way. Obviously, 7 minutes, and we've not been watching for 7 minutes. We're already a third of the way through the video.
I gotta go.
I mean, I could always wear the pants.
Even in 240p, that side eye is still evident.
On the couch right now and get him some birthday hype.
Hey, thanks, Sarkanian.
We have $20 from Eoin, Tomby Squirrel Suit Hype. Donating another $5 if the announcer can pronounce my name right. Hopefully I was close.
Oh yeah, this game is called Tombi with an I.
No,
in all the
Eoin, the
territory.
donator. But I pronounced both of you wrong. Forgive me.
I prefer Tomba. It makes him sound more masculine.
Does.
I mean, he has pink hair, so he is a true man.
You notice how many other people are like really paying attention to this guy, like going off on this tangent, or not even like going off on a tangent, but like thinking he's funny and like main character syndrome.
Stumba the mighty.
He doesn't actually talk though, so he would never say that in any
He
situation.
makes grunts. That's kind of like talking.
He could pretend he does.
I have fast pants.
We get turbo pants later.
Now you're just making me excited.
Yeah, I don't think you're ready for that.
I don't think I am. I think I need some time to prepare my body.
Oh my god.
He's like, he's
We're
so
15
muscular,
minutes
still
in.
No change in his weight.
And Toma just proceeded to put him in his pants.
Well, yeah, I got fast pants.
Never doubt the powers of weapon space.
All right.
From
You can tell he's
Brendan,
getting a little
love
sick.
Tomba 2. I never fully beat it as a kid and just managed to beat it for the first time a couple of years ago. You've made my workday so much better.
I know this doesn't
Someone
seem
else has a
important, by the
birthday
way.
today.
It is, because there's stuff that's covered, and you just got to know how fucking awkward this guy is. Okay, so it's worth it to watch all this.
Coincidental how, like in most games, pigs are evil.
Such as?
Well, Diddy Kong Racing, Zelda, Mother.
Thank you for the list of evil pigs in video games.
You're welcome. Dude, how come I never saw this Christmas special as a kid?
He's-
It's a rare game, I guess, really. 300, I thought it was like 60. Well, like new, I guess.
Oh my god, the awkwardness.
The greatest trick.
Since when did Super Mario Brothers U get here?
Good joke.
We're almost at 20
Confirmed
minutes.
Santa's #1 helper is a squirrel.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
There it is. That is
But yes, you are correct.
the famous line associated with Chibi.
You get here.
Good joke.
So confirmed Santa's #1 helper is a squirrel.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
Under 20 minutes. Under 20 minutes. It took under 20 minutes for this guy to be totally fed up with Chibi to the point that he's politely telling him to shut the hell up. Okay, so great. We just went through all that. Who the fuck cares? Wait, there's more.
Video of him, people discussing his child diddling capabilities. Oh, I don't know. Should we do it yet? Should we? Yeah, we should. I see knives out. Oh, I see knives are out. Knives are out. Oops, that's the wrong display caption. Go to Firefox. Oh, that's the wrong one too. Jim, you're looking at the wrong windows. All right, let's try that again, old man. Old man
Chibi's
got it this time.
such a boomer.
All right.
And it's so funny.
Well, fucking A. Here we go. It's like that. You like how I got it all centered in there for you? Oh, this will be fun. I haven't done one of these in forever. It's a little watch along. Again, all you need to know, Chad, as we watch this guy's trying to get a job in Japan teaching children. Here's some audio about people asking why he wants to fuck kids. All right, let's go. Oh, spoiler alert. Chibi's name is Adam.
Come on.
Hi. I'm a random person from the internet just calling to ask why your son's showing his dick off to kids.
Hold on.
Agency. We monitor all dick pics on the internet under Biden's umbrella to... God, the internet's such a wild thing. Holy shit. Can you imagine being a parent and just getting a random phone call from somebody who says, hey, your child's sending their cock out to random kids on the internet. What are your thoughts on that? I love her reaction. What?
10-year-old girl?
There we go.
Yes, your son Adam sent pictures of his penis to an underage girl, and he posted the pictures of his penis online.
Who am I talking to?
This is Jonathan.
He should have said, ma'am, I'm with the Federal Penis Inspection Agency. We monitor all dick pics on the internet under Biden's umbrella to hunt down degenerate fucks. And your son's come up on our radar. We've got a whole database of dick pics over here, sent by some guy named Chibi who sniffs chairs at speedrunning events. Now, I can't give you my name. You can call me Agent. Agent, I'm going to fuck your son's life up.
Yeah, there's a whole chair sniffing arc too with Chibi that I didn't even want to get into. I just wanted you to see how awkward this guy is.
Hold on a minute. Adam? Did you? No, I did not.
Why are you selling your penis to kids online?
I don't know, Mother.
Oh my God, Mother. I don't. Oh my God. I love my son's Canadian. Oh my God, Mother. Buddy. Don't you know, Mother? I ain't sending my dick pics out to no kids, Ma. Mom, don't you know? What? No, it's not my cock, Mom. No, it's obviously a dick from a stranger at Tim Hortons. They hacked into my Apple, Ma.
No, I did not. Well, this person's saying that you did.
Hello?
Don't.
Don't talk to me.
I believe that.
So they just got hung up on, right? Or disconnected or whatever, right? So these guys are persistent. They're not giving up at this. They're going back for more.
That was the first call they put in, where the mother was so shocked she just hung up. Chibi, are you sending out your little doodad?
Are you sending out the small chibi? The chibi?
Your little tallywhacker dangly doos to the children on the internet again? No, Mom. No, I'm not doing that, Mom. Buddy, I tell you what, Mom.
Oh, shit.
How about I fucking slap you?
I gotta talk to them. Did you hear? Oh.
Don't pick up, Mom.
No.
Yeah, hey man.
Damn
Sounds
it.
like we got disconnected.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. I'm really upset about what's happening here.
Ma'am, if you provide me with your email address, I'll be happy to send the pictures to you.
Ma'am, listen, miss. I understand this is really messing up your head, but if you'd give me your email address, I'd love to
It might be a bad time, but let me help you out.
send the pictures of your son's erect penis directly to you. Maybe you could give me your address, and I'll have a truck drive by with a billboard on the sign that'll be nothing but his dick. It'll say, "Here's looking at you, Ma." We'll do a little wink on it, just to have artist rendition of a little wink right on the tip where the piss slit is. Would you like that, ma'am?
If you
Who
want.
am I talking to, though?
This is Jonathan.
Okay, and how are you affiliated? I mean, I just try to figure this out.
Well, the 17,
Are you just-
the girl sent the pictures to me, and she said that Adam sent them to her.
Adam, some girl is 17 years old. Did you know that? There's not a 17-year-old girl.
You shut the fuck up, Ma. You're making me mad over here. I'll lather you up in some fucking maple syrup, and I'll smack the shit out of you, Ma.
Oh, shit. It's even more funny because
You know what this girl's name is?
Jim's Minnesotan, and they already talk pretty Canadian. So to hear a Minnesotan call out someone for sounding Canadian is just funny to me. I don't know.
Her name is Amy, but I don't know if he knew her by that name. He probably knew her by her online name, and I'm not really sure what that is. But if you have an email address, I could send some stuff to you if you like.
Yeah, do that, please.
Okay, what is your?
What sort of mother? What sort of mother gets a phone call from a random stranger on the internet? Hey, would you like some pictures of your son's cock? Oh, I love it. Can you send me some pictures of his little doodadder? Oh, Jimmy. Oh, your friends on the internet are going to send me a picture of your penis.
Pull your pants down. I gotta do a lineup, a police lineup here.
You've been telling me about all the internet things you're doing, the speed running. I didn't know you did it.
By the way, I haven't watched any of this. I briefly had it playing in the room here just so that if it ended, I knew it ended. But yeah, I haven't played any of this for myself, so you're hearing my reaction to
Naked
this.
with your little dick out.
Your email?
Hang on 1 second here. Do me I just want you to know something. He's got some issues. He has Asperger's, autism, and sometimes he doesn't think.
Yeah, so I mean, here's the thing. My son's a fucking retard, and can't help himself. Just keeps whipping his cock out. We keep telling him not to do it. Even bought a little spray bottle with water and squirt him in the face all the time, but little tard, I just can't stop him. He's got his dick out all the time.
Clearly, and he makes stupid choices and stupid decisions.
Yes, ma'am.
So please, I beg of you, don't go any further with this, and it will never, ever, ever happen again.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand.
You know.
Yes.
He's a good kid. In fact, I'm trying to right now. Even try to.
Now, do you think the Japanese are going to buy the excuse as he goes over to their country to teach their children in the JET program that he's just a little retarded?
Oh my god, this guy's gonna try and teach.
You think they're gonna? You think I was gonna do a real?
Think about that. The guy that you just saw sitting there with the personality of a twig is gonna try and teach people, and he thinks that, you know what? Just like so many other fucking people in this world that are just wrapped up in this fucking culture where they think Japan is the most amazing place in the world. They're just suckered into it, and like. He's going to go over there and Japan's going to be so much better than America. And this guy who sent his dick pic to freaking kids is going to be trying to teach kids in another country where the laws are a lot more laxed, unfortunately, too. So that's creepy.
Really racist Asian voice right there. But Jade might escape her cage and beat me for it, so I'll have to hold back a little bit. But do you think they're going to be like, oh, it's okay. It's okay, bro. Please just show your penis to all our students. In fact, that's how you get hired over here.
Him on Social Security because he's got a disability.
I understand.
And I know he could be in big trouble for doing this, and I will have a long talk with him. And I'm sick about this.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Please promise me that you won't go any further with this, because I promise you this will never ever happen again.
Yes, ma'am. I won't. Don't worry.
And it's so sad because she's so like embarrassed. You can
don't
tell.
worry, ma'am. Nobody's ever going to know about this except for the video that I'm going to publish on YouTube that everybody's going to listen to. Aside from all of them, nobody will know that your horny speedrunning son is taking pictures of his little prince and sending them to random girls on the internet.
And please ask her, and I promise you that she will never hear from him again either.
Yes, ma'am. Don't worry.
And it won't go
I understand your predicament.
Okay?
Don't worry. Yes, ma'am. I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
Glad I could help.
I'll email you right now. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. And now he's online. I can read it right now. He just said at 4:43 p.m.
Oh
we
my
exchanged pictures
God.
like that. She sent me pictures too, and it's almost like he's bragging about getting pictures from this underage girl. It's very disturbing, to say the least.
Adam, he's not. You said he's online right now.
I can read what he said. Yeah, and it was 5 minutes ago. He posted it 5 minutes ago.
Can you imagine how absolutely tits to the walls crazy you have to be? Imagine you're sitting there and you hear your mother screaming in another room about you sending dick pics to people on the internet. Underage girls on the internet. There are people calling her to explain this. And you, in the most mind-bogglingly stupid thing you could possibly do while this conversation is going on, decide, I know how to diffuse the situation and make mom calm
I have
down.
a great idea.
I'm going to go post about it. No, Ma, I didn't do nothing. And then he hops on Twitter or whatever the fuck this is. Oh, hey guys, I sent my dick pics to people, don't you know?
He's up here talking to Social Security.
Well, he posted these.
I'm the one that texted you guys back.
Ma'am, he can post from his phone as well. He can post post messages from his phone.
Put something on there about how she sent stuff back to you too. Did you? No.
I can read it. I can read it right now. I can send you screenshots if you'd like to.
Hold on. Okay, tell me.
We exchanged.
Tell me what you were saying.
Want me to say it? We exchanged pictures like that. She sent me pictures too, is what he said. He said, I was 18, she was 17.
Did you say that?
Oh man.
No, Ma, it's totally untrue.
No.
Oh, no, that one, yeah, I did say that. Yeah, Ma. But don't you make me slap you, bitch.
Did you say that? Well, because I just...
I don't know. Chibi's kind of
If it
scared.
would help
Chibi's
me
kind of
talk
scary to her
I would
because
be more than happy to talk to her. He has a girlfriend right now that he really cares about a lot, and
she said that he had some really violent, like, I don't know, fetishes and stuff. He wanted to.
Ooh.
Yeah, ma'am, your son told the girl after he sent the dick pics that he wanted to punch her in the tits. He just kept saying it over and over again. Sent his penis, it was fully erect, and just said,
Oh my God.
this is what the thought of punching your tits makes me. It's very disturbing. I want to beat you with chains.
I had no
Pour
idea
gasoline
this
on your
guy
face and,
was
shit down your
also
throat,
like
ma'am.
vicious like this.
Jimmy, did you say you want to shit down a
Oh
little
my
girl's throat?
God.
have sex with men and make her watch and things like that that were just very disturbing.
Oh, so he's a cuck.
he said to her,
Yes, ma'am.
what, back then?
Yeah, he wanted to have sex with a man and make her watch, and that really frightened her.
Ma'am, I believe your son might be what we call...
Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. This guy's a cuck, but he's a cuck from the actual, like, bed, not the seat? Like, wait a minute.
in the parlance of the scientific community, a fag.
Oh my god.
Man, he wanted to get fucked in his ass. He wanted to make this little girl watch him get fucked in his ass, miss.
You will sit in that chair and you'll like it. Damn it.
Your son wanted to get his rectum ruined.
Oh my god.
Anally annihilated in front of this
Just
sweet,
realized my
innocent
light's
little girl.
not
She was
on.
singing church hymns. She was singing church hymns, ma'am. And he asked for this man with a gigantic penis to absolutely blow his bowels out, miss.
Oh my god. Deepwater Horizon me. Oh my god.
Well, like I said, if there's anything that I can do, if I can talk to this girl, I would be more than happy to talk to her. He will not,
The secondhand embarrassment I have for this poor mother, too. Oh my god.
He has not done anything like that. I mean, back then, I know he dated someone, we said Adam, though he was 18, he had the mentality of a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
I understand, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry to trouble you with this. I didn't mean to, yeah.
He had some weird fetishes back then.
He had
Oh.
some weird fetishes back then.
Yeah.
So, like,
Wow.
not only is she getting phone calls from random people on the internet talking about his kinks and wanting to get fucked by men to an audience, but, like, she's aware. Oh, no, yeah, this happened before, yeah.
This happened on
He wanted to be
Tuesday.
smothered in shit and then beaten with baseball bats because it made him horny. Yeah, his dad and I knew about that. Yeah, it's a little weird.
He's really a nice guy. I don't know. He's trying to do something.
He's a nice guy. They're always nice guys.
Internet and working for a company, and he's got all kinds of people calling him and telling him that they want to try to have him commit suicide. They don't need any autistic kids online. They don't need any autistic gamers.
Oh, that's really sad.
Oh, that tone. Oh, that tone just tells me I am posting the living fuck out of this as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god, his mom is just out there after him. Oh my god. Chibi had no idea. The villain was in the house the whole time.
Yeah, I'm aware my son used to dress like a dog. Probably because he likes getting beaten like one, because it makes him horny. Chibi, you want to tell the stranger on the phone how much you like dressing up like a dog? And how it makes your dick get hard?
Why did he wear the collar? I was very confused. Yeah. Why did he wear that collar? I was confused by it. Oh, okay.
Because it was a video game character that used to dress with this long coat.
Oh, fucking what? Wait a minute. So you're dressing up in a fucking dog collar, prancing the fuck around, talking about sit your ass in the chair and watch me get fucked.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, my son's a bit of a fucking psychopath. We keep him locked in his room and we feed him Tim Hortons all day long and hope he doesn't fuck the furniture. We got so many holes in our couches because he keeps banging away.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh my god!
He was a big guy, is what you're saying. I understand. He was a big guy.
No, he just had a lot of crazy ideas that were just a little off the wall.
Just a little off the wall. He's a little confused.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
This guy,
Oh,
no, nope.
I've listened to that audio before, but I forgot how insane it is. And I forgot how his mom totally sold his ass completely up the river.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ, she
I
did.
don't think she didn't even give a shit. It's like, oh, my son's a fucking nut. He's a nut.
Oh, you think you're here because he was weird and talking to kids? Well, let me tell you what weird is. Let me talk to you all day long about how fucked up my child is.
He's a little nutter butter. Oh, he gets into some crazy shit.
Holy
I
fuck.
gotta lock him in his room. Fuck the furniture, don't you know? That's Chippy. That's our little speedrunner who did that dedicated song to Akira Toriyama. In memory, rip and pepperoni.
Oh god.
You might be wondering, what's he up to lately? Well, he's trying to get a job teaching children overseas. Best of luck, Chippy. Hope that works out really well for you, Adam. Can't see any problems arising from audio like this existing on the internet.
Oh no.
Where your parents talk about your weird sexual fetishes and your desire to prey on underage girls by sending them unwanted dick pics. Sure, things are going to work out real well over there, buddy. Sure, you're going to be Japan's #1 English teacher. Oh, no. I don't know how the jet programs run. I don't know if they ever, like, just go on YouTube, look shit up. Like, hey, maybe we should go look some stuff up. Maybe this guy in the dog collar, maybe he's a fucking psychopath. Maybe he's a little demented. I don't know. Should we go take a look? Should we look at some things? Maybe double check to see if this person might be slightly fucking unhinged. I don't know.
Speed it up a bit.
This is the sad reality of what happens when you become a speedrunner. A lot of people like to say, "Hey, those weebs are weird. Those VTubers are weird. Those video game enthusiasts are weird."
Because if we speed it up and we get through some of this shit,
mentally unhinges you. I don't know what it is. There's something about speedrunning that makes you lose control, and either you become a troon, or there's audio of you that gets leaked trying to persuade little girls to watch men fuck you in your butt. The next thing you know, you're talking to mom and dad about it because they locked you in a room because they don't know what to do.
Oh my god!
You're force-fed Tim Hortons for the rest of your life, which sounds like a fucking fate worse than death. Like shitty pastries and overhyped coffee. I mean, maybe. But if you're a normal person, you're probably gonna slit your throat. Sorry for all the Canadians out there that love Tim Hortons. I know that's your thing. But now you're always associated with Chibi, wearing a dog collar and getting butt fucked. How do your parents find out about that? How does... Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta do the thing where it shows me the full message. I don't know why it does this. A few details. There we go.
Here we go.
Now it's not gonna do details. There we go. But most importantly, I wore a 4 out of 5 hat to every chemo session. The other skinheads were envious. Thanks for the great stream and all the content over the years.
All right, I want to slow this down because I'm gonna let this play kind of at a normal speed because I want to
love
see.
And prayers to you and yours. Well, thank you very much.
They're
fantastic cats, though I don't know if they will. I don't know what effect.
Dog, and you're afraid of the dog, and the dog senses it, and the dog gets up and smells the fear coming off of you and starts barking at you and snarling at you and showing its teeth. It's
what the
pissed off
fuck
at you.
is
It
this
doesn't like
shit?
you. And you're like all insecure and tentative, like, I'm sorry, hi, can I get you a drink? I just want to be friends, please don't bite me.
God.
And what's that woman gonna do? She's gonna snarl at you. She's gonna look at you like, ew, creepy, ew, rough. If you're firm and self-confident, they respond. They get relaxed, see? Just like dogs. You go up to a dog, you know, a big, mean Doberman Pinscher, right? Or whatever, some dramatica, what's in Rottweiler.
What is
right?
this
Or
shit?
Pitbull, you know?
I
You
know
go up
he's
to that
played
dog,
this before.
Toriyama graded Pokemon. Who the fuck is this guy? And why do they keep sending email after email about it to us? And his singing is so bad. They sent me a clip of him sniffing some chair some dude sat on. Bet you didn't know that. Well, most of you probably did. Well, we got about 14K watching, so I'm sure there are a few thousand that never heard this before. But yes.
Here we go.
Hbomberguy and I.
Here we go. Here we go. Meat and potatoes, why we're here. This is what I wanted to hear. So we're going to get into the Metokur forums, which was created by a guy named Haberman. He's going to talk a little bit about Haberman and his suicide and / goodbye letter that he left. It wasn't really a suicide, but you know. Hey Teddy, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, anyway, so we're going to cover Haberman, we're going to cover the Metokur forums and everything right now. This is the stuff I really wanted to see.
Naruto fucking going on.
You have no idea how hard it is to find
times.
stuff about Hbomberguy.
So let me put on a little break music. I'm going to go get a drink, grab yourself a drink,
The Wolfie story was something. Oh my god. I don't know if I really covered the Wolfie stuff as much as I covered the Chibi stuff, so I covered that pretty thoroughly. So I'm hoping.
Look at that little raccoon hat. Oh, look at that. It's adorable.
What is this?
He's a little butterball. There you go. There you go. That's part of my ritual humiliation. There you go. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. You can go loop that on 10 hours if you'd like.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure where that got pulled from. She tells me there's a stream, apparently. Or it's like Monday and Matt was wearing a raccoon hat for some reason. I don't know or even remember this. This could have been like really early days when I was just so drunk I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But she found it amusing. Because apparently I called him a little butterball. Oh, fuck me, man. I don't know. Liquor will do
I don't think I've gotten to the Wolfie stuff then there, Teddy. I've got Hbomberguy stuff still. I know he was just getting into that. Was the Wolfie stuff related to what is it? The video that he played it before. No, because we listened to that. There can't be that much because he was on break for a bit. And then there's this video from it's got an overdub from Coach Red Pill. So I don't think I've gotten into the Wolfie stuff yet. I think that's gonna have to probably be down here somewhere.
Shit to you folks. You gotta take that shit in moderation. Otherwise you got audio out there that's making no fucking sense.
Oh yeah. I was commenting on that, Teddy, how it's really funny because like he already sounds he already sounds like more Canadian than me, even, and he's just a state above me up in the Land O'Lakes. And I'm sorry, but a Minnesotan doing a Canadian accent is just fucking hilarious to me.
Just it's crazy.
Because it's so
Speaking
much
of crazy,
more intense.
Let's get him some H-bomb. I know a lot of people chat like, who the fuck is Hbomberguy? Well, if you were a bread tuber enthusiast, if you were a lefty-leaning sort of person, you probably saw them. Part of the whole crowd. You've got people like ContraPoints and Vosh, Lindsay Ellis, Hassan Piker, I suppose you could consider part of it too. Kind of left-leaning politically, but they still talk about video games and anime and other shit. And then put out long.
And so I know Hbomberguy was really big with the video game scene.
Essay videos that are somewhere between 1 to 18 hours long. And he's one of them.
Oh, yeah, no, we're Code Hanger. I want to say the Code Hanger portion's coming up
and
here.
He put a video out
because I heard part of that
recently, talking about the hard-hitting plagiarism that's going on YouTube. You can see it's a very popular video. Did incredibly well for him. 3-4 hours
So
long.
I think you get to hear it again,
500,000
Teddy.
Likes, 17 million views. Quite a bit of views. A lot of views. Raking them in. So he puts this video out talking about plagiarism. He had a few people he talked about. One of them was the internet historian. Because we all know the most serious thing you can do on YouTube is plagiarize. Everybody is fucking original over here. OC Donut Steal. Really taught the internet historian a lesson, didn't he? But other people were mentioned in the video, and other people were brought up in conversation related to the video. One of them was somebody by the name of James Somerton. Now, James decided to start deleting everything, and then he posted something up in relation to this video being put out. Let's read it. If this message is live, it means I scheduled it before ending things. I have videos scheduled to go out over the next couple of days. Nothing new. I just wanted Nick's portfolio of work to be available. I've left directions that any money from those videos...
And for those that don't know, Nick was the guy that worked on and edited and kind of script wrote and stuff with James on videos. Now, what's kind of funny is a lot of the videos that Hbomberguy sat there and did his whole case study on, there were several that were... there were a few that Nick did that I don't think any plagiarism was found. There were some that they co-collaborated on that plagiarism stuff was found on. And then the ones that like James Somerton was like, oh yeah, no, those Nick's all over. It's a popular name, Teddy. Popular name. But James's videos were very, very heavily plagiarized.
Be donated to the Canadian.
That's the summation of like 2 hours,
Actually,
3 hours of video for you.
Videos be donated to the Canadian Association.
And the fact is that what is the internet historian also plagiarized stuff apparently. This James Somerton was the real guy he was going after. He talked a lot about a lot of shit like Angry Video Game Nerd and him. He had a guy that was writing stuff for him that plagiarized stuff, and like this other guy that worked for a game magazine. Like he talked about 3 or 4 people before he got to the heart of his video. Is like 2/3 of the fucking way in. Illuminati was in that, and then he got to the heart and meat and potatoes, the heart of his video, which was James Somerton. That's the guy he was really going after because he's like all about who the fuck knows. I think he was angry because he's gay and plagiarizing and can't be both.
Association for Suicide Prevention. They've tried very hard to pull me back, but there's simply no life for me anymore. I don't know if we should donate to them if they've
honestly,
failed
Teddy.
their fucking job. James, I'm just kind of throwing. I mean, I know you're dead now, but do we really want to keep throwing good money after bad? If they were good at their job, you wouldn't be writing this note, would you? They tried very hard to pull me back, but there's simply no life for me anymore.
I'm sorry, but I just see some poor sap at the Canadian Association for Suicide Prevention going, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear about all of that. Oh my goodness. Have you gone to Tim Hortons and gotten yourself a cup of coffee? Oh, that sounds terrible. I'm so sorry.
I've lost everything.
Tell me all about it.
My only friend, my livelihood, my name, and it's all my own fault.
No.
The world would be a little bit better off now. Goodbye. Oh, shit. It would appear that James Somerton has killed himself as a direct cause Hbomberguy's expose on his thievery is plagiarism, but it goes deeper.
I'm sorry, but I did hear the whole hype that he gives to Hbomberguy here, and it's fucking hilarious because he's been going off on Twitter about it for a while, and it's just hilarious. Oh my god, the way he plays this up.
There we go. This infographic, true and honest, has been circulating around the internet, sharing dark fucking secrets. Let me read it to you. Above is a video by Hbomberguy released. Its publication date is December 2nd, 2023. Below is a Kiwi Farms thread. Its first post, the OP, was published February 21st, 2017. Both are about James Somerton. If you look, you can see the Kiwi Farms thread clearly says James Somerton. Our plans to get this guy to kill himself by saying he plagiarizes other people. And that's that date, February 21st, 2017. Years before Hbomberguy. Holy shit. Hbomberguy stole the entire idea for the content of the thread just so he could claim the kill for himself. It's rumored that James even went so far as to carve Harry's name onto his stomach, so when they discovered his body, Hbomb could claim the kill for his talent. Stealing others' work is never okay. It takes a lot of time and effort to drive a man to kill himself, and Harry just taking the work of others is fucking disgusting. How about you cite your sources, Harry?
Plagiarize the kill.
How about that? Well.
Oh, man.
It would appear that our boy, Hbomberguy, is a fucking plagiarist. Swooped in there and stole Kiwi Farms' kill. As you know, Kiwi Farms is the internet kill factory responsible.
Side note, that's fucking great in all of this, okay? I actually was looking into Hbomberguy because I thought that he might have actually plagiarized part of that video.
For the murders and suicides of hundreds of people. And they've been looking at James for a long time. Here comes Hbomberguy, makes his fucking video, and steals that kill. I mean, you got to understand something about Harry. I know a little bit about him since we were on the same
Oh my god. The Jim has a fucking talent for coming at people like this.
He's a fucking psychopath. Did you know there are folk songs about him? And his never-ending killing sprees? Bet you didn't know that. But it's true. In fact, I've got one here for you. This is adult content. If there are children watching, they may want to avert their gaze.
We don't need to play this song, but it's fucking hilarious, to say the least. So that would be Mr. Haberman on the right there. We have our illustrious Hbomberguy in the center, and on the left is James Somerton.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, he's out there just slaughtering people left and right. James Somerton is. Okay. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about the history of Metokur and go into a little bit about it. So there was this forum. Overall, pretty good, 4 out of 5 stars. Started by goons.
Okay, yeah. You're 100% right, Teddy. I mean, in terms of like calling people out, like people talk about like having Nick Diorio call you out, or back, you know, like what, a year ago, having Augie call you out. Hell, even having like Tommy C. Like a lot of people like get really nervous talking to Tommy C online, and it's just because he'll blow up at you and snap. But no one will ever call you out quite like Jim does. And I mean, we've seen that with the Mundane Matt stuff. If you watch those streams, I've still got the VODs up. I know they're long as hell. Eventually, I'll put it down to a tolerable thing that someone can watch. But holy hell, man, there is nobody that can go after someone.
Goons, for those that don't know, are Something Awful members. That's what they used to refer to themselves as. In fact, if you've heard...
Oh yeah, Jim is definitely another level.
The term troon on the internet, that's actually from Something Awful. It's referring to a transsexual goon, or a troon. So, a bunch of goons, really big into Red Supre. If you remember Red Supre from back in the day, that was very popular. A lot of videos about it. God, this all goes back to old YouTube, doesn't it? Anyway, they loved Red Supre. And so they tried their hand at it. I wish I could find the video. There's probably a copy out there somewhere, but a couple of the founding members, who Haberman is a part of, as well as some others, tried their hand at Red Supre, and it was a fucking awful video. They just got their shit pushed in. They were very, very upset about this. So they decided, being e-humorists, which is a serious term they used, they were going to start their own forum, because fuck Something Awful. So Haberman decided to start Metokur Forums, which is a mispronunciation of the word mediocre by some foreigner who didn't like him. So Metokur Forums starts, a bunch of goons show up, and among them is our boy, the Lord of Ops, if you all remember, Haberman, destroyer of souls, breaker of worlds, and of course, Hbomb. Hbomb was a friend of his. Jordan and a few others as well. They'll start up the forums, they're all having a great time. They start very very, very slowly. They start very slowly. But as time goes on, things get more and more serious. Feelings get hurt. Lawsuits get filed. And there's a little bit of regret going on there. A little bit of regret. So I thought I would read you what I'd like to call Soliloquy of Troll's Remorse by Hbomberguy.
This is funny. This, if you've never seen anything about this before, this is the end message, the end game message that really, I guess if you go out there and you search for the Metokur forums, which there is a Metokur forums now, but I think it's been created in spite of this, which was created in spite of something else. So it's just kind of funny that things just exist in that manner. But this is really, like, if you look for the original Metokur forums, this is all you'll really find out there. And Jim kind of does point that out, and he'll get into it a little bit.
Because a very strange thing started to happen on the Metokur forums. All these people that used to laugh at retards, and we're going to talk about some of the retards they laughed at, like to have fun, like to troll, like to do naughty things. They all got Troll's Remorse. And Troll's Remorse is basically when you're a real asshole to somebody online, or a group of people, or a bunch of different people, and suddenly you start to feel bad about it one day, and decide that the only solution is to become the other extreme of the spectrum. Not to just, adjust yourself and be normal, have a little bit of, normalcy to your life, but just become the most cookie cutter, in this case, lip shit, let's just say, personality you could become. So Hbomberguy gets very upset after years of running the forum with his fellow goons, Hbomb and everybody else, and decides that he's going to put up a long, long essay about how terrible he was and how sad he feels about this, and it's Troll's Remorse. And this is something that affected him. It affected Jordan, who went on to found another website called Busy Street, which was its own shit show.
Oh, God.
And of course, it affected Hbomberguy, who after the closure of the forums, suddenly got into
This is iDubbbz to a T.
to being a bread tuber and a lefty. Well, he was always kind of a lefty, to be honest, but got into bread tubing, let's say. So let's take a look at Habe's regret. Got this queued up here. I hope you're ready. This is what you need to understand, too. I've talked about this before, but it still is remarkable to me. Hbomberguy was probably one of the only people on the internet that was actually able to scrub almost everything related to this forum off of it. There have always been archives of shit people do online. You know how they say when it's on the internet forever? Untrue. Untrue. I've seen one guy, and one guy only, Hbomberguy, be able to actually erase the entire fucking thing.
There's been a couple instances of that, and it's kind of interesting, and I still don't quite know how people do this. What is it? There was another famous instance that I can't think of. I'm just totally spacing right now. I apologize.
I don't know how he did it, but he did.
There's someone else that did similar.
Nothing's there. You can go to archive.is and all the variations of it. Nothing's there. Just this final letter, and a few screen caps, and maybe one or two YouTube videos of somebody scrolling the forum right before it closed, and that's it. He completely fucking erased it. He was so riddled with Troll's Remorse, so fucked up over it, that he completely made it disappear. You might be wondering, what did he do that was so terrible that he would want to erase every vestige of it from the internet? Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into the shenanigans of these boys. But let's take a look at Hbomberguy. This will be fun to read. This is a former member of Metokur. I can give you
I did it. I used to be a bread tuber.
some insights into it. This is from Hbomberguy himself. Prepare. Ooh. Metokur began in late 2008 and fell apart in early 2012. Over the course of 3 years, we managed to do a lot of damage, often to innocent and undeserving people. While we took pride at the time for putting positive spins on our operations, claiming the people we were attacking had it coming, or that they had learned a valuable lesson, it can be safely said now that our actions at the time were indefensible, plain and simple. Founded by me, Hbomberguy, and the elusive Catalyst, the original goal of the organization was to get away from the juvenile trolling under the banner of activism, claiming that our actions would somehow act as a catalyst for some...
Eddie, I could not imagine you having a bread tuber. You would have to be like... You'd have to be so far extremist left that you, like... You'd have to almost do the whole thing where, like, you go from being unfunny to funny because you're so far out there.
Some sort of unspecified positive change. As new members were recruited, and with Catalyst quietly leaving at this point, our methods of trolling began to closer resemble targeted harassment, with the primary goal of the site being a forum dedicated to gathering and distributing the personal information of our unfortunate targets. With a YouTube channel dedicated to commentaries over...
You would have to have Troll's Remorse about having troll remorse.
...over other users, a means of gauging how susceptible a potential target might be to our harassment. A page on our website dedicated to mocking submissions to DeviantArt, another means of seeing how potential targets would react to being provoked, and a growing directory of our target's personal information. We were systematic in our approach to harassment. Furthermore, we were able to manipulate other services such as Encyclopedia Dramatica into serving our efforts. using inside connections to guarantee ourselves favorable front page coverage. So let's take a little break here and just digest that. First off, no. They weren't founded with the principle of operations in mind. They were founded because they got laughed at because the retropray was shit. And they
You're 23, so you're getting Trollmore's age. Oh no, you gotta wait till you're at least like 27, 26. You got like 3 years.
wanted to do retropray over other videos. That was the whole gimmick.
You've got to get through the whole arc where you do your most maniacal stuff first, and then have Trolls Remorse.
Films for the Fusiliarians and all the other things that were done on Metokur were basically retropray of any video that wasn't video games. That's the start of it.
Unless you're going to become gay. In which case, you're open to do it whenever the hell you want.
I love, 24-hour ops and gay ops come from Haberman. See, he used to have this thing where he would be on the forum, and somebody would post something funny about some spaz that they found. So imagine Kiwi Farms, or something awful, or a 4chan, or whatever. And you're reading a thread, and you laugh, you have a little guffaw, something funny that you come across. And Haberman would come in, and be like, I want them destroyed. You have 24 hours. And that's where 24-hour operations, or 24-hour ops came from. Or as we like to refer to it, gay ops. We like to refer to what he did as gay opping. Now, to give you an idea, he also talked about how they had an inside man at Encyclopedia Dramatica. That was LMTE. He was a mod over there. Sysop, some shit. I don't know. To give you an idea, some of the shenanigans the boys got up to, let me tell you the story of Wolfie661, I think it is.
Oh, here you go,
So
Teddy.
imagine this. You're a little Jimmy boy. A little Jimmy boy. Let me get a little pudding up here. There we go. You're a little Jimmy boy.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Not the blob, man.
That's little Jimmy boy. I should have put a hat on him, fuck. So you're a little Jimmy boy. You come on the Metokur forums one day, you're all smiles, hey everybody, how's everybody doing? We're gonna laugh at some retards today? And then you see a thread that says Wolfie661. You're like, I wonder what that is. You're all innocent, eating some bubble gum or something, I don't know. Got a lollipop, you're a good boy. So you open up the thread, holy shit. You open up the thread, and you see probably the cruelest thing you've ever seen in your life, which, honestly made you laugh quite hard, but it was horrible. So, the story of Wolfie, everybody knows what social engineering is. I know everybody talks about hacking and all this shit, but
man.
Social engineering of getting information and passwords and private information from just manipulating a target. So Wolfie was he was a little slow in the mind. He had a YouTube channel with a very small audience. I'd never heard of him before I saw the thread. So LMT, who was the sysop member, he was the guy from Ed that was also a member of Metokur, decided he wanted to fuck with the guy for some reason, and came up with the most convoluted thing I've ever seen, with probably the cruelest ending I've ever seen. So through months and months of social engineering and manipulation, pretending he's like 19 different accounts. He made like 19 accounts. One was a friend of Wolfie, one was an enemy of Wolfie, one was a friend of the friend and an enemy of the other guy. And he had this whole, all these characters that were interacting with each other daily. And Wolfie became aware of them all. So he's getting
I'm just going to say it. Teddy, this sounds like something you would do.
all this attention from 19 people, but they're all him. They're all LMT. He's just fucking with his head. So finally he's like, Wolfie, is one of the friend accounts. He's like, Wolfie, they've got super hackers. They've got some fucking super hackers working for him, Wolfie. I need your passwords.
No.
I need your password so I can protect you because I'm your friend. And Wolfie, because he is retarded, does give him the passwords.
Oh my
so
God.
LMT gets into all these accounts. Then he comes back and he says, Wolfie, the hackers, they found out. Wolfie, the hackers have hacked me, and they now have your passwords. But it's okay, because I work to deal well with them. They just want one thing from you, and if you give it to them, they'll give you back your passwords and your accounts.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so elaborate.
And Wolfie said, sure, what do they need? They need you to film yourself naked fucking your ass with a coat hanger. They need you to do this, Wolfie, and if you do this, Wolfie, they will give you back...
Wait, which end of the coat hanger?
Your accounts. So Wolfie took some time to think about this, but he's slow in the mind, of course. Again, remember, and he's been fucking with him for months. He used the other accounts, and he convinced him to do it. So Wolfie went on live stream and filmed him.
No fucking way they did. No fucking way they convinced somebody to do this.
Himself for about 5 minutes, fucking his ass with a coat hanger, which is as bad as what you're imagining right in your mind when you hear the story. When you hear there's a guy fucking his ass with a coat hanger, it's as bad as you think.
Oh my God.
And so he comes back and he says, here's the video. Can you give it to them and can they give me my passwords and my accounts back? And LMT says, yes. Thank you, Wolfie. I'll get you your accounts back. And then Wolfie, a day later...
What the hell am I doing?
It's like, have you got my accounts back? He's like, almost, Wolfie, almost. Just hold on. So then LMT puts a video up on streaming services for like porn sites, right? Buries them on porn sites.
Oh.
And then he uses every contact Wolfie has ever used on every social media and all his emails to family and friends, especially to family. I think he wrote one to his dad especially. And it said, hey, Dad, look at me now. And it linked him to the video of him fucking his ass with a coat hanger.
Holy shit!
And then he messaged Wolfie and he said, okay, you can have your accounts back.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Wow. Wow.
Tragic. Now, I bring that story up because there were mean things that happened. You'd come across that on the forum. And that, by the way, was the environment that our boy, Hbomberguy, was a part of. He saw the same threads. He'd read the same shit I would, talk to the same people I did, on the same
Holy
Skype
hell.
groups and IRCs that I was in. Fully aware of it. Fully aware of it. So, aside from LMT doing things like this to poor innocent Wolfie, I could take innocent boy Jim off because Jesus. It was a hell of a morning. I mean, you don't really walk into a thread like that. Like it was months of work. It was months of work. I don't even know how he found the guy. Like I don't even know why he chose him, but he just did. It's like, yeah, this guy.
Sorry about that. I've got one screen that ended up extra here, and I'm trying to like get rid of it. Stop it.
I'm gonna make this guy fuck himself with a coat hanger. Holy fuck. There's probably.
Yeah, seriously, Teddy. I'm flabbergasted. Like, I really don't fucking get it. Like, that is insane. The levels of effort that went into that.
Probably on Pornhub somewhere, a video buried under some kind of tag or name of Wolfie that's still out there.
There's some asshole that's probably watched that video for a fetish.
The last I remember ever being posted in that thread were a bunch of like, what are they called? The people that are like horny for fat people? Those people? Like really liked the video. Like he found a new audience. And they were like, send us. So I believe what LMTE did was he took all the comments of people saying, hey, you look pretty sexy, fat boy, and just would forward them to Wolfie and his family.
Oh my god.
It was just cruelty upon cruelty. But that wasn't done by the Lord of Ops. Let me just, again, reiterate. I know. He did much darker things. Anyway, let's get back to I just wanted to give you a little idea of some of the mean things that were going on there.
Oh my god, that's nuts.
Okay. At the same time, we managed to, let me make sure that's clear. Okay. At the same time, we managed to maintain a legitimate front by enlisting less insidious individuals to create content for us, which allowed us to continue to pass ourselves off as activists and e-humorists. Of course, the true intent of the core members of the organization was far darker. Again, who would the core members of the organization be? Let me think here now. Who would it be? Haberman?
They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned with. Some men just want to watch you fuck with the coat hanger. That's very true, Teddy.
And, Haberman.
If you had said that same sentence in any context before this stream, I'd have been like, what are you on about? But now I know.
Haberman's friend, his good goon buddy, would be what I would consider a core member. As opportunities for larger exposure presented themselves, we took full advantage, continuing to contribute to and manipulate ED would eventually win a sysop status on the service. Our sites and channels began to establish their own fan bases, many of whom were blissfully unaware of our true purposes. We established secret connections with established internet personalities who enlisted our help in sabotaging their competition. We brought ourselves near national attention when news media began to cover a game under development by the title of School Shooter North American Tour, which thankfully was never actually distributed. Now, let me give you a little history on this, too.
Oh, my God.
So I was the idea guy behind this. So one day when we were talking, just shooting the shit, and I can't even remember, there was some story that was out about a school shooting. And I vaguely remember talking to Haberman and a few of the others. I think Nervatel was there and Pocky and a few others. And saying that, wouldn't it be funny if we made a video game that was directly about shooting up a school? And like we'd have difficulty modes based on the weapons loadout that all previous school shooters had. And so like the Dark Souls.
You're the type, or this is the type of trolling that I'm like, bro, you do you, but you need Jesus. This is something else. I mean, I knew that the Metokur forums were crazy from the stuff that I looked up. But like I heard about the school shooter game. Okay. I did not hear about Wolfie. Yeah.
version of this. What was that little Asian girl? There's like an 8-year-old Asian elementary school girl who like used a box cutter in her school. So that would be like the hardcore difficulty setting because you're against SWAT and all you've got is a box cutter. But the thing is, none of us can program. None of us know how to do any of that except for like one guy. And so that one guy is the guy that ended up having to do the mod that was going to be this game. And so as the game was in development, as this mod is being created, journalists started writing about it and how horrible it was. It even got listed as, I don't know how this happened, but there's a Supreme Court case where one of the Supreme Court justices references this video game in their opinion.
I saw and heard about this, which is insane. Do you know how insane that is? That like something that is literally has stemmed from trolling online makes it into a Supreme Court case. That is in print, on file, in an opinion, for eternity.
Where they talk about it very briefly. Our shitpost of a video game made it to the Supreme Court. And it had to do with video games and freedom and all this other. It's very weird. But Haberman's grand plan for this was, and he talked to Fox News like 3 times. He was going to get on Fox News as the creator of School Shooter North American Tour 2012 and get on with Jack Thompson. And then when Jack started going in about how video games are violent and terrible, Haberman, instead of disagreeing, was going to fuck with Fox and with Jack and say he absolutely agreed. In fact, he made the game specifically to show how evil video games were and that video game players needed to be curtailed. And he was just going to agree nonstop and talk about how terrible games were and how glad he was Fox News and Jack Thompson were there to save the day. That was his master troll op.
Oh my god, that'd have been great.
And that's what he was going to do with it. But of course, we have to continue with Haberman as he gets into the darker forms of things. We played a dangerous game with many of our operations, narrowly avoiding any sort of serious consequences for various serious charges. We blackmailed police officers, impersonated religious officials, intimidated the families of victims, and pushed unstable individuals to the point where they suffered complete breakdowns. It is difficult to ascertain if we were directly...
That doesn't sound any different than the internet as a whole right now. Oh god. Sorry to hear about your uterus.
responsible for any loss of life, but the unfortunate reality is that we may very well have likely been so. It almost seems petty to say this, but the thought of this will haunt me until the day I die. Now, I bring this up because it's interesting. I know I'm shitposting a bit about Hbomberguy here, but he went after Somerton. He went after other people for plagiarism. Now you got Somerton writing suicide notes. And here Haberman is talking about how he established this forum that did all these dark things. And one of the things that Haberman himself is admitting that they love to do was to push unstable people to the point of complete breakdowns and potentially driving them to suicide. Uh-oh. Harry, have you cited your sources yet? Huh? Stealing kills from Kiwi Farms? I guess the bloodlust never ends. Subpoenas, takedown requests, letters of legal intent, and pleas from friends and families to our victims were all laughed off. We took nothing and no one seriously and rarely faced any immediate consequences for our actions. One of the few measurable blows to Metokur over the course of our run was when we were removed from our seats of power on ED, but not before removing some of the primary benefactors, resulting in the eventual closure of the service itself.
So they gay up fucking... Oh my god, they gay up Encyclopedia Dramatica? Like, that's...
Though this was seen as a minor setback to us at the time, in hindsight, it was probably one of our few positive contributions as an organization. Behind the scenes, egos from among the core organization clashed with one another, causing many to leave and pursue other projects. There was a palpable sense of paranoia, as those who remained not only feared the traitors, but the other remaining members of the organization as well. There was no trust between any members of Metokur, and none of us could truly call each other friends. Anyone who made a mistake of revealing any...
Wait, so they gay-opped so much that they did not know if they could trust one another anymore, and so they had to shut the forum down because they couldn't trust each other anymore because they had done so much shit? This is insane. This is absurd.
Any detail of private information was consequently mocked and shamed for it, which I can personally attest to led up to a lot of pent-up... Okay, let me explain this one, too, since we're going over the history. So, here's what happened. LNTE, okay, this is a bit of a long backstory, but Encyclopedia Dramatica for a long time existed as a place where you could post pretty much anything you wanted to.
Yeah.
All right. And at the time, was it Girl Vinyl, whoever the fuck she was.
I've heard a lot about this, but there's not any like good way to like put it all together in a contextual manner. Like I found bits and pieces of this history that he's gonna talk about right now that like I had no good way to like lay out, like without having lived it. You don't know this lineage.
Started taking donations to the website. And there was a group of people that were really just spurgy that gave a lot of money. And because they gave a lot of money, nobody could make fun of them. They were called the ED Singers. They made cringy videos. They said cringy shit. but they donated lots of money, so they were protected. And this drove Haberman fucking crazy. He wrote an entire article called Troll Shielding about this very thing. And he and LMTE hated the Edie Singers. In fact, the Internet Aristocrat YouTube channel was originally created just to make a video making fun of them. That's the entire purpose of the channel, was just to shit on them. Eventually, what ends up happening is LMTE, I believe, got stripped of his sysop status, and Haberman got booted from being able to do edits and anything like that. They got really mad. So Haberman worked very hard to try to get the docs of the Edie Singers, and he succeeded. He got their information. And shenanigans began to happen. In fact, somewhere, I believe I talked about this in a previous stream or a video, he talks about how his friend from England, wink wink, helped harass the shit out of the Edie Singers. Well, the Edie Singers, somehow, through the use of a private investigator or somebody else.
I get what he's saying there. I don't know if anybody actually caught that. I'm gonna go.
Talks about how his friend from England, wink wink, helped harass.
Right there. Do you get what he's implying right there?
Shit out of the Edie Singers. Well, the Edie Singers, somehow, through the use of a private investigator or somebody else, found Haberman's personal information.
So I'm guessing that Hbomberguy was one of the people over in England that went after these Edie Singers people.
And they filed actual lawsuits against him in the state of New York and elsewhere, like civil suits. And it freaked him.
Teddy, they donated a lot of money, so they were protected. That's his relationship with the commentary community. Yeah. Oh, not here, Teddy. Not here.
The fuck out. Because he was anonymous. I mean, he had his face out there. He was called Haberman, but nobody really knew where he was or what his name was or any of that shit. So Haberman is now getting sued by fat girls that don't like him from Encyclopedia Dramatica. And he flips out and he's like, we can't go after the Edie Singers anymore. We can't fuck with Encyclopedia Dramatica anymore. We can't do any of this. And then he foolishly tells all of us, by the way, I'm going on vacation for a week. LMTE is in charge of the forum.
No.
So when he's talking about how everybody was paranoid and they couldn't trust each other and traitors were stabbing each other in the back, what he's really talking about is we took all the legal information from the lawsuits, like his full name and address and phone number, and we made it a scrolling banner for an entire week on the website while he was gone and didn't have control of the website.
No.
So all the victims he talks about, all the people he would fuck with and make fun of, suddenly show up to the website's front page, and there it is, Haberman's real name and his address and his phone number with a message that said, fucking call me, I dare you, or come visit me, coward, shit like that.
That's some evil level shit. Holy hell, now I can see why they're like talking about they turned on each other and shit.
Not really happy about that, chat. He was actually quite fucking angry in regards to that little prank. I believe LFT even tried to do like this replacement function where any letter you would type would just print out personal information. So like if you try to type out hello, H-E-L and O would all like put out like his name, his number, his fucking address.
Oh my god.
The website, so he stopped doing that. So Haberman shows back up after his vacation, and fuck was he mad. Oh boy was he mad. Remember, again, little innocent Jimmy boy, okay, lollipops and gumdrops and shit, gets the blame because I'm the idea guy. He was like, oh, it wasn't me, it was fucking Jim thought that would be funny.
Wow. That is oh my god.
I did think that was funny, by the way.
I did think that was funny, by the way. Oh shit!
I could claim it was because I had matured enough at that
Metokur is brutal. Holy fuck!
Point and wanted to move on, but it had more to do with the simple fact that the times had changed. Social media was quickly evolving. People were becoming less concerned about their personal information being made private.
No wonder this guy became gay.
And our old tactics were having less impact on a new generation of netizens. Rather than growing to recognize the error of our ways by that point in time, we'd simply grown tired. And so Metokur died not with a bang, or even so much as a whimper, but instead quietly overnight without warning or notice. And I say good riddance to Metokur and all it stood for. Selfishly, I attribute it to the fact that I was forced to hide my own sexuality and harass my fellow LGBT peers, prolonging an addiction to pain prescription medication, stunting my emotional growth, and suppressing my sense of empathy, as well as generally enabling behaviors which...
Is this what's wrong with Ethan Ralph? That could be something. We should look into that.
Which I can now recognize as despicable. My association with the site cost me friends.
It could be that Ethan Ralph is gay and we don't know it. Just part of the LGBT community as a whole. I mean, he could even be trans. But we should really look into that. there's a whole there's a whole potential in just that paragraph that I never thought about that could apply to him.
Friendships, opportunity, and precious time I never can reclaim. You know, I'd like to say, too, none of us knew if Haberman was gay or not. Nobody cared. Nobody would have given a shit. But I guess he felt that this was a deep secret he needed. Maybe we'd make too many gay jokes. God knows we made jokes about fucking everything in relation to one another. But the prescription addiction and alcoholism, yeah, he had a few instances there where he went a little too hard on the pills and the drink. I distinctly remember one conversation, like at midnight when he was in his college dorm or something, where he's a little shit-faced and he's like, I'm hungry. So he decides to order a pizza. And then he flipped out for like 20 minutes, almost crying, because he didn't have any money in his account, and he had to call like Domino's and tell him he was too poor to order. Like, please don't send the pizza to me. I'm too poor. I can't afford the pizza. And they were mad because he said he paid cash when they got there. But he's a little high. He wasn't really paying attention. That's our troll lord, god of the ops, Haberman,
Oh my god.
having a meltdown because he couldn't afford his pizza. However, I firmly believe that no pity should be spared on my behalf. The true victims of Metokur were the targets of our harassment and those who associated with them, many of whom became targets
There is more stories to come in this, I know, because supposed to be a story about a magician that I'm really looking forward to.
themselves. The system we developed for distributing and destroying our victims' very lives was pure evil, as were those of us who participated in the process. There are no excuses for what I did, and no means of justifying our actions at the time. We did nothing to accelerate any sort of learning process for our victims who demonstrated immaturity or naivete, and taught no lessons to those who battled on their own or battled with their own immorality. It's impossible to track exactly how many victims of Metokur there were, or even who many of them were. When I took measures to ensure that no archive or record of the site existed, the names and details of our victims disappeared with it. Personally, thanks in part to my painkiller-induced altered state of mind and also to my generally poor memory, I can't recall many of the details of Metokur's history. Attempting to recall even a general timeline of events comes difficult for me, and several of those who may still remember
Wait, so he's playing like he mind erased now too?
finer details are likely unwilling to cooperate in an effort to make amends. And so it's with great frustration with myself that I must admit I've little else to offer than my sincerest, deepest regrets to those affected by Metokur. The consequences I face for my actions do little to compensate for the damages I've caused.
I would be okay. I'm going to explain this a little bit more in depth before I say this. Okay, you got to understand, being a member of this forum, right, and being the level of like trolling that they did, to then have a person shut down the whole thing, delete everything, and post this is such a fuck you.
And I live with the knowledge that I may never fully atone for my actions during Metokur's run. Not a day goes by where I don't think about the things I did and allow my thoughts to turn to self-hatred and loathing. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a little bit more here. Blah, blah, blah. What a terrible person I am. So sorry about that. Please watch the dinner dates, my new Let's Playing channel. Oh, you know, I'd like to take a second here also.
Wow.
To just point out again, the moment he decided to set up a Let's Play, once you get into speedrunning, look what happened to Chibi. Here's Haberman. Suddenly, just fucking demolished by Trolls Remorse. Talking about being LGBTQ barbecue and all that shit. All the horrible things he did, which were really, let's be honest, the only horrible thing that really ever happened on that website was probably what happened to Wolfie, and that was LMTE. Haberman's idea of targeted harassment and horrible things was really just laughing at fucking idiots on a YouTube video. But he sure likes to write about how bad it was. And Hbomb was there. He was there the entire time. He was a contributor to DeviantArt Coalition for Quality Control, or DQCC, or Q, whatever the fuck it was, which was an attempt to just fuck with people, tartlets, on their terrible, awful, shitty fucking DeviantArt accounts. In fact, let me show you some of the reactions. I've covered this too previously, but I'll show a little bit for the folks tuning in. Here's a DeviantArt account called Metokur Must Die. It's from 13 fucking years ago. I am a DeviantArt user dedicated to the destruction of the troll group known as Metokur. Their website, metokur.org, is used to launch attacks on DeviantArt users, YouTubers, and other groups of people on the internet. One page in particular, called the DeviantArt Coalition for Quality Control, is used specifically to target DeviantArt users and has scared dozens of artists off DA before they can even reach their full potential.
I totally
just because
forgot.
Of the they like, or because of the friends they have. To the members.
I totally forgot about shit like this existing on the internet. I'll be dead honest. Like, having grown up and lived through it, like seeing shit like this, like, I remember it, but like just the naming schema and everything, like, I totally forgot shit like this even occurred.
So Metokur, I know you will read this. Your days of ruining others' lives are over. I'm coming for you. I know the tactics you use, and I will use them against you. Personal quote, overall pretty bad. 0 out of 5 stars.
Oh my god.
I believe this is the one that started the petition. There's a petition. There's a petition to get rid of, let me pull this up. Get Metokur off the internet. 308 signatures. Metokur got Nintendo Advocate and Miss Nintendo Advocate off of YouTube, and I want Metokur to die. Sign the petition if you want. Metokur films for the Fusilarians and DJ MTP off the fucking internet. didn't really go very far. Nintendo Advocate, by the way, was the guy that did the video about beans for Christmas and how much he hated his Mexican neighbors. He's right up there with Matt Pat's Photos, who was a guy that had a foot fetish and a thing for fat ladies and would insert himself into game shows from like the 1970s. He made thousands of videos of him, like he'd overlay himself, he'd use a green screen and put himself into game shows. Thousands of them. Insane amounts of them. I still don't fully fucking understand what was going on in his mind.
What?
But he was very dedicated to this. And so...
Teddy, bro, hear me out. You have to try this.
So that's sort of the story of Haberman. And a little bit about Hbomberguy. I bring this up because I know the Somerton thing is going around, and I'm sure Somerton's probably not Teddy. Probably he's just being an attention whore. But on the off chance that he offed himself, it's a little spooky. And some parallels to what Haberman was saying. I don't buy this trolls remorse shit. I think it's a overreaction.
Yeah, I'm coming for you.
Usually to hide, the shit that you've done in the past to try to sweep it under the rug. But Hbomber, he knew about all this stuff going on. He was a part of a lot of it. He wrote and contributed to a good amount of it. So if it turns out Somerton's corpse washes up on the shores of some Canadian,
And before things get lost here, I just want to show, like, he's not wrong about this whole thing. So it should be. I watched his second video that he made. So we'll go videos. And now, mind you, he's made a lot. Back when he had hair. Well, that's where we're going first. Here.
Let me tell you about video game feminism.
This is 8 years ago.
I know what you're all thinking. How could it possibly cost $15,000 a month to make a documentary about a lady in a flannel shirt? I mean, look at the great production value in this short film written by Davis Orini.
No, man, you gotta get the hell out of here.
I can't hear them. Are they talking about the wind? It's really windy here. Lust in the Time of Heartache had great production values, and it only cost $10,000 to make.
Yeah. There's... I know he gets on here. Here we go.
It's okay, we're all friends again, honest. Can you please all unlose all respect you ever had for this project, please? Thank you very much.
We're in good company with this. Look up the production of the...
I mean, it's dry British, like, trollism, but...
I believe the first Godfather movie, so we're not alone.
I think I'm having a heart attack, seriously. My heart hurts. I can't take this.
Oh yeah, Teddy, you would hate these videos. I sat through this one, and as you can see, I watched so many more on his channel. So many more videos I watched. Oh, I think that one might have autoplayed. PewDiePie is a Nazi. That gets into some woke Hbomberguy that I was watching. And, I don't know what happened to his hair. 4 years, he wanted... Look. Isn't that insane? Anyway, I'm picking on a guy for his hair. We're here to pick on the guy for being the guy.
Tributary. Well, let's just say that's Haberman's revenge. Oh, it's a breadtuber out there slaughtering people. Just like the song said. He hungers for new souls, Chad. He desires new souls. It's terrible. Terrible shit. Do you know Hbomber, when he started doing his YouTube channel, created a add-on, I think it was for Firefox, an add-on to get rid of toxic YouTube channels, and I was one of the first names that got put on that stupid fucking block list. This dude's
the queer kid stuff was fucking funny. Yeah, I get you.
Out there making block lists, wiping out history. Amazing. It's amazing, chat. Strange how you run into people that are doing things and you remember what they were like as they try to cover it up and pretend they weren't like that. I've noticed that a lot of these breadtubers or lefties, the moral upright people that are out there writing 4-hour videos about plagiarism, seem to have dark pasts where they did a lot of heinous shit. Now, Jimmy Boy here, I'm not an innocent little angel. I've done some fucked up shit. I'm a terrible person. Laughed at people, laughed at furries.
I'm a terrible person. I've laughed at people, laughed at furries. Okay, so the fact that he just subtly implies there that people and furries are different.
Jokes about people putting bike pumps up their ass. No, nothing on the level of Wolfie. I mean, that was straight up cruel. I did laugh. I have to admit, I laughed. It was so cruel. It was so. It's just like sometimes you come across something that's just so fucking mean. You can't do anything but laugh. I mean, how the fuck do you react to that?
Exactly.
It's nothing on the level of Wolfie, but I'm not an innocent angel baby. But it's strange to me that the people that try to portray themselves as that generally aren't. Usually they've got some really fucked up shit in the closet. Now, how deep that goes, I couldn't tell you. It's not like Hbomber was out there demanding people be beheaded, but he sure was familiar with what was going on. And had that goon mindset of let's fuck with everybody on the internet. Sort of like I don't know. Let's take another example of a bread tuber or a left-leaning personality that's popular at the moment. How about
Jim doesn't have a dark past; he has a dark present. Very true.
Vash? How about him?
Oh,
I mean, how many screen caps and Discord logs and things need to leak about this guy and his affinity for horse fucking, and not just horse fucking, but young girls? Now, I've heard his defense. I've seen it put forth by his fan base.
Bro, I could not imagine. Like being on the receiving end of like hate from like Nick Diorio or Mr. Metokur, like just either one of them, let alone like you've gotten both actually. And like just I would give the fuck up. Like what else do? You just give the fuck up. Like the people that are hardest in this sector, like to come after you, like who else is gonna come at you any harder than those two? Like I don't think there's a just, continue on, keep your head down, make content to this.
Than himself. That he's got some kind of a fetish for, what was it, the goblin defense or some shit? No, officer, I didn't know that was a 7-year-old. I thought that was a 10,000-year-old witch. A goblin that lost her tits in a magic duel. So what do we got? We got, even if you go back a couple of years, there are Discord caps of Vouch that got leaked where he talks about wanting a girl who was retarded. She was a little slow in the mind, a little mentally disabled, or he wanted a retarded girl to whack a horse off for him. He wanted her to jack a horse off. And then what do you get? You get him on stream again, and suddenly, suddenly you got a giant fucking folder of lolly anime girls drinking fucking buckets of horse cum. And that's a little hard to just kind of, wave away and say, oh no, it's a little goblin. It's a little goblin girl. It's a little goblin girl drinking horse semen. What the fuck?
Jesus.
Bro, come on. Let's be real here. It's extra funny too, because from my understanding, is literally before this happened, within a week before this happened, he was going on this diatribe about how Peppa Pipkin and VTubers were a bunch of fucking Nazis, and how because they liked anime, they were probably pedophiles. And then what happens? He's on stream, and he's got little girls drinking buckets of cum. Oh, that's got to sting a little bit. Drinking rivers of horse semen. But he's one of those people that would portray himself as morally upright. We need to have an argument about the argument and then cite our facts and talk about the facts that we cited because we don't want to plagiarize anything. We need to be morally and logically consistent. Here comes my facts, and I'm going to read this white paper to you that I read off of Wikipedia, but you need to listen to me because I'm so incredibly intelligent, but I'm going to tell you about the morality of these things.
Ooh! He is coming for him with this. He's not fucking around. Holy shit, this is mean. I gotta watch this.
By the way, I like to masturbate to little girls drinking horse semen. I'm going to read this white paper to you that I read off of Wikipedia, but you need to listen to me because I'm so incredibly intelligent, but I'm going to tell you about the morality of these things. By the way, I like to masturbate to little girls drinking horse semen. Kind of makes that feel a bit disingenuous. Tiny bit disingenuous. I don't know, chat. Tiny, a little bit, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, folks. The man likes horses and little girls. And I'm not saying, don't get this wrong. I'm not saying Hbomberguy likes little girls and horses. He clearly likes to see the blood of the innocent run across the land. That's what he enjoys. No, Vouch is the one that likes little girls and horses. I'm saying there's a parallel there with this moral bullshit that's put forward, and then it turns out just to be, I don't know, grift, fake, not real,
man,
not true.
He is coming at him.
Yeah. Yeah, RedTube's it's been a real tough week. The other thing, too, I find a little bit funny in regards to Hbomberguy. I see this argument a lot coming from this particular area of, let's say, YouTube. That content creators are responsible for the actions of the people that watch them. Or content creators are responsible for the results of those actions. So here you've got Somerton, who's just getting his shit wrecked because he's been called out for the dumb shit that he's doing in this video, right? And then you've got a lot of fans that are of Hbomber that are piling on to
Okay, I gotta pause for a second. I am like, need to go get a drink. So what I'm going to do really quick is throw on my music.
But okay, let's get into the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff. Here's what I understand it to be. And then, chat, you can yell at me because I'm misinformed because I haven't been.
Okay, so I'm going to let him kind of run with this here because I really want to hear this and I really want to hear his opinions on this. I definitely did not hear any of this. I had already started a stream when this started.
Paying attention. Does that sound good? Are we good on that? I've got a couple articles pulled up, a few clips pulled up. I think we're good. Let me get rid of this. Okay, there we go. So it's my understanding that some gamer that wanted to get all these horrors out of video games decided to create a Steam group that brought focus and attention onto a narrative constructing company, narrative crafting company called Sweet Baby Incorporated. Now, if you were to go look at this Steam group right now, it's fucking ridiculous. Sweet Baby Inc. Detected has roughly 228,932 members, probably more, with the sole purpose being dedicated to tracking games that have involvement in their development with Sweet Baby Incorporated. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would anybody care? Steam is probably like one of the last vestiges of where you can go and say shit, honestly. Now, I know that they've given more mod tools and creative powers to game developers and publishers. Back in the day, you could say whatever you wanted. Now they've kind of curtailed it a bit. And you can find yourself temporarily banned from saying things on certain game forums or, creating threads or leaving comments or even fucking reviews. But still, for the most part, Steam is pretty fucking based when it comes to letting you say what you want to do, creating your own little groups, or even doing this curator thing where you can create your own following where people can come by and see what the fuck's going on. So somebody out there creates Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, and it talks about this company. And it talks about this company that works with video game developers. So what do? What is their mission in the video game sphere? Well, they talk about is it DEI or DIE? Whatever the fuck it is. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So these are fun buzzwords. I'm sure you've heard them before. There is a massive push by larger companies than Sweet Baby that, well, they essentially pay you to do it. Talk about companies like BlackRock and others, Larry Fink and all these people. That you need a certain amount of people of a certain variation working for you or in your products or in your advertising or in your marketing. And if you do that, you get rewarded. And Sweet Baby is kind of like a small version of that. They're a video game centered version of that, larger ESG shit. So they come into a company and they say, hey, your video game doesn't have enough black lesbians in wheelchairs. Hey, your game doesn't have enough transsexuals. Hey, your video game doesn't have enough gay men in it. You need to really think about
black lesbian. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Did I hear that right?
So they come into a company and they say, hey, your video game doesn't have enough black lesbians in wheelchairs. Hey, your game doesn't have enough transsexuals. Hey, your video game doesn't have enough gay men in it. You need to really think about that. Or hey, more than that.
I had no idea about this company, so this is a lot of stuff that I'm hearing for the first time.
It's not just your game, but it's your company. Your company doesn't have enough of that. You need to hire more women, more minorities, more sexually different people.
Okay, so they're doing a whole evaluation on the whole company. I thought it was just the games itself.
Because that's part of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have these guidelines. You need to hit them. We're going to help you construct your narratives. It's all out of double talk, really, in regards to what they're doing, but it's forcing diversity for diversity's sake on companies and on their creations. That's my understanding of what they do. That's my understanding of the whole purpose of what they do. And they probably make a fucking lot of money doing it. Because what's better than getting a rubber stamped approval and showing everybody how compliant you are with the shit when you're developing some kind of a product? I don't think anybody's blind to the fact that over the last 5 years, every video game company that exists, whether they're the big console manufacturers like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, or they're a third-party giant like a Capcom or formerly a Bethesda, or even some of the small and middling people, have been really jumping in on the whole idea of corporate diversity, equity, and inclusion. Every time there's a special day on the calendar, they're out there with a rainbow flag. They're setting up funding for development in relation to projects about minorities. I believe after the BLM stuff and the Floyd riots in the 2020, Sony in particular, I think, did like a giant, God, am I remembering this right? They did like a giant fund where they gave like $25 million to develop black video games or some stupid thing like that. And it was really that vague too. It was just like, here's $25 million for black people. Please don't get angry at us for any reason whatsoever. Look, we've got a transsexual flag. Look, we're the good guys. So they're out there doing that. You've got a company rubber stamping everything doing this. And they're looking at their involvement and what games they've been involved in. And shocker, a lot of the games that this company has had their hands on, or the companies they've worked with, all the products turned out to be shit. It made a lot of people start to do a double take and think, maybe these products are crap because of this involvement. Maybe the focus should be on fun video games and fun video game shit rather than teaching me a lesson about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay. I can kind of see and get where they're coming from there. Again, I had no idea about any of this. I'm kind of learning on the fly listening to this stream.
So anyway, to sum up this story, they make this curator page, the Steam group, and this sets off a firestorm. The company gets upset. I don't have the screen cap. I'm sure you've all seen it. You don't.
I've seen so much about this company, like floating around on Twitter, but I had no idea that they did this kind of stuff. Like, I seriously thought they were more about the actual, like, gameplay more so than the actual company as a whole. I didn't know they were more the evaluation of the company, which I've seen so much of that stuff in the corporate world.
I don't need to pull this up to really prove it. You can go look it up yourself if you need to. But I believe it was one of their employees got very fucking angry and wanted this Steam curator page, the Steam group, taken down, and then wanted the person's Steam account erased as well. They didn't want just the curator page, you know, the Sweet Baby Ink Detected page taken down.
That's
kind of
strange.
Steam account. They wanted them punished by losing access to all their video games for daring to say, huh, it's pretty stupid. And it's not even like what they said. I mean, fuck, wasn't that South Park?
Christ, that's fucking extreme. Like, don't you agree? Like, isn't it a little fucking far to sit there and, like, want to get rid of a person completely off any platform? I don't give a shit where the fuck you are. Like, just anywhere. Like, why would you get rid of somebody just because they don't agree with the fucking your narrative of things? Like, regardless of the side of the aisle, I cannot stress that enough here. Like, I could give a shit less what side of politics you're on. The fact that anybody does this is disgusting.
Episode, make everything black and lame, or gay and lame, or whatever it was. You know, where they go to like an alternate dimension where everybody's like a black woman or a Latina. That South Park episode came out like a month ago. So, you know, like, this is basically the real world version of this shit. But yeah, no, they need to be punished. They need to be taught a lesson. Oh boy, we're gonna come after them. And so it starts a firestorm. We're gonna look through some of the articles and I'll talk a little bit about it. But of course, everybody's popping up. All the old characters from the last time around from Gamergate are popping up. You've got Anita out there having fake weddings. I don't even know what the fuck.
Are you fucking serious? We've literally come full circle to this point.
I'm gonna say this is an aside. This isn't even. I'm gonna pretend I don't know who Anita Sarkeesian is at all. Right? I don't know who you are at all. I've never heard.
Okay, that's fucking hilarious for the sheer fact that, like, if you don't know, like I said, I covered this a lot with trying to go through kind of like a history of Mr. Metokur before this stream. And so it's kind of really cool that he's doing this whole, you know, walk down memory lane stream. It's super helpful with the research that I've done. But he had an intimate involvement with the whole Gamergate thing and just everything that went on there. So, like, he knows a lot more direct involvement with Anita Sarkeesian and Gamergate, and Anita is a name I didn't hear since 2017. Yeah, Sarkeesian's one, and then Zoe Quinn is the other person associated with the initial Gamergate stuff. If you don't know, like, those are probably the key names you need to go back and, like, if you're looking for a history, honestly, you look up either of those people, you'll find out information. Typically, you'll have information about the other person as well. So it's just interesting.
Heard of you before.
We're all the way back to full circle. No, okay, so lovely. The stream ended, so I will get right back into where we were.
Weddings? I don't even know what the fuck. Like, what the hell? I'm gonna say this is an aside. This isn't even. I'm gonna pretend I don't know who Anita Sarkeesian is at all. Right? I don't know who you are at all. I've never heard of you before. And I'm just gonna take what I'm reading on its own. I did not get married, but I did have a wedding-themed birthday in Stockholm this summer.
Oh my god, how sad.
Bachelor party, rehearsal dinner, ceremony, and reception all in one. People dressed up in the best costumes, from brides, divorce lawyer, drunk uncle.
Okay, so if I remember everything correctly, Anita Sarkeesian is she's a feminist journalist that kind of really was one of the big figureheads during Gamergate. So it's incredibly sad to see somebody host a wedding themed birthday. How fucking sad is that? Meaning nobody wants you. I mean, that's literally the extent of that fucking birthday party right there. Nobody fucking wants you.
Uncle and a ring bearer. Massive thanks to everyone who helped me pull it off, which was a lot of people, and everyone who traveled from different continents and countries to come party with me. Wow. That might be some of the most cat lady shit I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, Anita,
honestly.
What the fuck are you doing? I'm so lonely. Oh God, all I have are the cats and the wine. For my birthday, we're gonna pretend it's a wedding, and you're gonna treat me like a fucking bride, and I'm gonna wear this present. Oh God, Jesus! It's very fucking sad. Anita, Jesus.
Oh
Christ.
my
This makes
god.
me pity you. This makes me pity you. I am pitying. This is so sad. I hope it's like an edit. I hope somebody out there is being funny and clever, and this is like a fucking edit.
Okay, did something
That's the saddest shit
happen?
I've ever read. In fact, we should introduce Anita Sarkeesian to fucking Mersh. Like, the amount of cat energy I'm getting off of this, those two are like a match made in heaven. They could sit together in that lonely apartment, green screening cat videos till the sun goes.
By the way, if you didn't know, the Purity Sin gaming channel that I'm on right now, they also have some incredible streams and history and everything else. Just all good information related to Mr. Metokur's streams.
Fucking dark. And all the heat energy of the universe disappears. Female cop doggo wedding bride.
Wow.
Of course, you got Sargon out there. Here he's making the round. He's popping on a couple of podcasts talking about GG a little bit. Or maybe. You hear what I don't know, chat. What do you think?
Aw, what a cute couple.
Is it time to manage a little bit, chat? Is it time to make this happen, or are we gonna go for it?
Oh, that would be a match made in hell.
Anita, I don't think you've even read Locke.
So you're literally looking at the opposite sides of Gamergate here. You have on the right, you got Sargon of Applebee's and his or cup of Coke that he's going to give you for your table while you're thinking about what you're going to order from the menu. And then Anita Sarkeesian, the saddest freaking woman alive, apparently.
Now put the ring on, you silly bitch. I mean, come on. That's a power couple. Come on. It's time. It's time to
Power dynamic from hell. Holy shit.
And look, babies, Applebee's. Yeah, I haven't really seen, to be honest, I haven't seen Sargon's take on this. I don't actually know what he said about it. All I remember is what he previously said. So let's go to the audio. Let's go to the tape. Jamie, can you pull up that tape of Sargon talking about Trump?
What you're building up to sure sounds dumb, but okay, I guess I can admit I'm wrong if you've got a better angle. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I do. You ready?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, this was great. Okay, so this was the Ralph retort is where the stream occurred. This is actually something I know about. Look at me go. This is the Ralph retort. And so you have Ethan Ralph on here, Sargon of Akkad, Mr. Metokur, and I thought there was somebody else related to Gamergate, but I'm not 100% sure. But really, it's those people that are mainly like historically involved, right? So Jim at this point has gone after Sargon of Akkad. This is post him going after him. Gamergate's kind of gotten pretty much stale at this point. I want to say this was 2018 when this stream occurred. And it just, everything had kind of died out at this point, right? No. It was 2018 because Trump's already been elected and everything else. They're talking about a couple different things in this. And so Sargon of Akkad comes in. And this is kind of just after the whole Sargon of Applebee's video and all that. And Jim trolls the ever-loving fuck out of him the minute he comes in the call. But he really fucking... He comes in and he's like, I've got an ace up my sleeve. I've got something that you guys have never thought of, and I will let Sargon explain it. So Sargon is clearly the British guy, and Mr. Metokur being the non-British guy, and the pig noises that you hear, that would be Ralph.
Yeah, I reckon we can get Donald Trump to defend Gamergate.
Yeah, so that was the last time. That's a brilliant idea. What if we got Donald Trump to talk about Gamergate? Brilliant. Fantastic. That was amazing. Clearly the way to win over everyone. It might happen. This might finally be the time. It might finally be the time to get Trump to talk about it. So, guy creates a curator list talking about this company's involvement. Company employee or somebody connected to the company starts running their mouth, wanting to get them dealt with. This, of course, Streisand's this, and more people talking about it, which, of course, they can smell it in the water. Games here.
Okay, so I'm wondering if something didn't happen here. Because the chat is still going. Okay, and we are back. I was able to find another re-upload.
the co-founder of Sweet Baby Inc., Kim Belair, proudly explains the methods she uses to force game studios to censor and work in a way that's conducive to what they want to happen. So let's take a look at that. Remember, Kotaku out there saying they don't do this. Let's hear from the
Okay, so we're missing a little bit in between, but I think we'll be okay.
horse's mouth itself.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
So I want you to go out there and terrify people and make them understand that if they don't obey us, there are going to be consequences. That sounds kind of like you're forcing shit to me. I don't know. I think maybe that Kotaku article might be wrong. You know, in the very first byline that it's got up there, no one company isn't forcing diversity. When you literally have the person that runs the fucking company saying, oh no, we're forcing diversity. We're going to terrify you. And I love that this is like at a convention. They're at the Game Developer Conference, proudly boasting about this. This is back in 2019, by the way. Of course it's in San Francisco. Of course they're openly saying this. They don't give a shit. So let's just quickly skim through the rest of the article. I just wanted to open with that because I found it funny that the very first thing that you find after you read something like this is that person saying exactly that. Sweet Baby Inc. is not the largest narrative design company in the games industry, nor is it solely responsible for the characters and stories in recent high-profile releases like Alan Wake 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. But good luck telling gamers that. Late last month, one of the company's consultants discovered a Steam group dedicated to detecting games that Sweet Baby Inc. had worked on. The purpose? To encourage people to avoid those games because the group had deemed SBI was pushing a woke agenda by working towards greater diversity, equity, and inclusion. The Steam group now has more than 100,000 followers. Actually, it's closing in on 300,000. And this was published on Wednesday. Today's Friday. So this group is exploding, by the way, and the amount of shit that's going on. But I'd like to ask a couple of questions. Really, when you're looking at this, the first question I would have is, when we're talking about narrative development companies like Sweet Baby Inc., when they say it's not pushing diversity, equity, and inclusion, let's strip that away. These consultancy firms, I don't remember these fuckers existing. Can you point me to them existing when video games were made in the 80s or the 90s or the aughts? Where were they? Right? If they're so integral in the development of a video game and characters and world building and the mechanics and the important things.
That's a fair point.
Really resonating with the audience. Where were these fuckers then? This seems like a recent invention. I don't know. It seems like a group of people that have come in to exploit what they see as a niche or a weakness and then use it to bully and harass or blackmail to make money. And then, of course, their good buddies in journalism will always cover their ass like they did last time. I don't know. Chat, can you point me to it? Because I don't fucking remember them existing at all before. It's almost like this is just some bullshit thing that got plucked out of thin air and made into a reality.
Like a lot of stuff.
God, I keep looking at chat. Nobody's pointing me to any of these companies that previously existed. Of course, then it goes in to talk about bad actors. It talks about how gamers are shit. We always love how gamers are shit here, folks. It talks about how they misunderstand. They don't understand. They're not forcing diversity. It's just happening naturally. Can you believe they printed this? Let me just show you so you know I'm not making it up. Sweet Baby Inc. isn't forcing diversity. It's happening naturally. Naturally.
Oh my God. So threaten them and make them scared if they're not being diverse. But it's happening naturally. Wow.
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Yes, that's so natural. It's so organic. My God, did you feel how organic
Just
that
straight
was?
out of terror. That's why.
Oh, that's organic.
Oh my God, this is so messed
They're arguing
up.
they somehow force game studios to include diverse characters and storylines. The reality is vastly different. It's a narrative design company, meaning most of its work is focused on writing story and dialogues. Oh, so that's why all the stories and dialogues are shit. I need you to make a story in dialogue, but you can only just
That was a good slide. Not gonna lie.
lesbian lady. But I'm not forcing you to put a black lesbian lady in it. I'm just saying that you need to put this dialogue in there that is spoken by a black lesbian lady. Oh, I see. I see how it works. I see how it works. That's sneaky. Aren't you sneaky?
Oh, wow.
Then I believe there was an article 2 put out by, was it PC Gamer? There was another just shit bomb of an article. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. A company called Sweet Baby Inc. has become the target of anti-woke gamers because it offers consultancy work and industry standard service.
Now wait a minute. How can we get through these? We get these fucking like convoluted like titles and openings and articles and stuff like this. Like, okay, first of all, way too fucking long in my opinion. Okay, this Jesus Christ, people. If you're not going to read the fucking article, we don't need the whole article in the title because people only read fucking titles anymore. The stream went down, and it went down like early in my little rant about Sweet Baby Inc. So I'm blaming them for taking my stream down. So the other stream that literally just happened, we were watching Mr. Metokur, and he'd gotten into talking about Sweet Baby Inc. And you know what? They saw me watching alone and said, we cannot stand for this, and decided that, me being a cis white male, they had to immediately take my stream down. And so that's what I'm chalking what happened up to. I sincerely think it's them. So I honestly, Teddy, I give you full right to go after Sweet Baby Inc. at this point. I think they're being sexist and racist, and yes, racist, colorist, ableist, because I am disabled. And any other buzzwords that I can think of, I will make sure to include them. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I just noticed the stream crash, but it looks like OBS has crashed for everybody tonight, including the people that I'm watching streams off of. So, because you can see right down here in the description for this person who just reposted, they also had OBS crash on them. So it could be that, but I think it's much better to sit there and say Sweet Baby Inc. took down my stream. But I think we're just about right back where we were.
Standard service, it's been normal for years. Oh, their consultants not hired. How many years have they been normal for, Harvey? What do you say? Kotaku report.
Okay, but from what I understand, Teddy, Tipster works at Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue or something like that. So I think it's tangentially related enough that you can go after them. I mean, you know, if I were a bread tuber, it's more than a righteous enough reason to have somebody else go after somebody else. So I think I'm totally in the right here.
70,000. Let's see, other words. If I can, climate change, this is all great. No, just.
Anyway, you guys missed my talking to myself on this, so I was kind of annoyed with the title length here. I'm kind of gets frustrated with like this generation where we got to put the entire fucking article in the title because nobody, and it's not even like a generation thing. Like, I'm not gonna blame like Gen Z, millennials, or boomers or whatever for this, because everybody fucking does it. Look, if the title's not grabby enough for you to read the fucking article, it's not a fucking worthwhile article. First of all, don't fucking put it in there. Second of all, don't put the whole goddamn article in the fucking title because everybody's lazy and only reads fucking titles. Anyway, they were talking about this title for this PC Magazine hit piece here, and they were talking about, you know, these anti-woke gamers, and this was industry standard that's been normal for years. And I actually went off on this whole tangential rant that basically, look, if it had been around for a substantial period of time, they would have noted that. Like when it's something's been around for a decade, you say a decade, or a set number of years, you know, 30 years or 20 years or 15 years, whatever, you know. So when you're saying years and vaguely stating it the way they did here, I went on this rant, and that could be what got me taken down before, is I said the C word, and that is the coof, and that only happened 4 years ago. So you could say that we've been in a post-coof society for 4 years, or years. I mean, anything over a year is going to be years plural. So I kind of went off on that whole tangent, but it kind of got interesting because Jim immediately took it a step further.
Normal for Harvey. What do you say? Kotaku report 70,000. Let's see, other words. If I can, climate change, this is all great. No, just tell me how long this has been the standard. Oh, work is a complete non-event. Okay, fantastic. Let's see. Starts with a dev team, an idea. This is all great in there. Yeah, this is fantastic. Vague, but fantastic. Obvious. It's really weird. It's just standard, he told me, but where is it standard again, Harvey? Because just point me to when this happened in the 80s and the 90s. I don't see picking a fight, doesn't matter. Oh, no, look, I don't see it anywhere in your fucking article. All I want you to do, Harvey Randall, please do this. Just show me these companies existing anywhere in the year 1980s, 1990s, the double aughts, or fuck, even the 2010s. Just show it to me. Show me how normal and standard it is, right? Because it's normal, standard business practice. Clearly, it's there. It's so obvious. So obviously you can show me, right? So of course this has led to
Okay, I was just
everybody.
checking a couple
I'm hoping.
things.
I'm hoping. Making jokes saying this is Gamergate too. I don't know. I know we've got people like Asmongold, I think, is covering this quite a bit on his Twitch. I see a lot of different people.
Oh, and I wanted to say that fucking Asmongold. You're gonna have Asmongold be the fucking front man for this fucking thing. The guy who cannot clean his fucking room, like notoriously known for being a fucking slob. That's gonna be a guy that's gonna cover this and be a figurehead in this. Jesus Christ, could you pick like worse people? Like, oh, I'm sure Hassan's gonna pick this up and run with it. They'll all pick it up and run with it. I don't know. Hassan might be too busy with his war correspondence, you know, his in the field journalism that he's doing right now. Getting down and dirty in the ditches.
Covering it a lot of people just pointing out these companies. I don't think there's anything wrong with pointing out these companies. It's my understanding that a lot of the things that Sweet Baby Inc. has been associated with have turned out to be really shitty products. So if that's the track record, yeah, as a consumer, I'd want to be informed. I'd want to know that their consultancy, quote unquote, leads to bad products. I mean, the reality with gaming is this.
That was something that I brought up on my own, talking to myself here. Okay, I just want to make sure that I didn't drop out again. So bear with me while I do this, because, you know, now I'm paranoid. Let's make sure. Okay, it's still showing me live. So we'll see. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Testing my audio. Testing my audio. All right, so we are good. Sorry about that. I'm just getting a little paranoid because now it went back down to like what it was showing before, and I want to make sure because like, okay, so I went down proudly, not dropping a single frame on this freaking stream, but then I dropped literally all of them and the stream ended. Okay.
The age of milk and honey is over. Your microtransactions and your monetization schemes and your gotcha mentality, right? It's reaching its end course. You made a lot of money, a lot of ridiculous money, especially during the lockdowns because people needed a hobby. There were a lot of companies that did. I mean, look at Warhammer. Do you know how much their prices have increased on their fucking figurines? When you look at the price of shit over the last 4 years, how they've like doubled and tripled prices of that shit. So you've got game companies, and now they want to make atrocious, shitty products, and they want to monetize them as much as they can, and they want to microtransact them as much as they can, thinking it's just going to be unending profits. But it's just not the case. A lot of games that have come out, especially over the last couple of years, have been shit.
And I will say, so basically getting back to the point that I was talking about, that, you know, if they worked on something that wasn't a failure, like the people on Steam are kind of insinuating. Okay, so if they worked on something that was like, it got well received, whether it was a AAA game or not. I mean, you know, let's talk about, like I said, Baldur's Gate. If they had worked on Baldur's Gate in evaluating the company, and you know what, that game has been so well received, like it is unbelievable. And I would think that you would want to like flaunt or tout that. So the fact that like they're being called out for putting out shitty, like basically making companies shittier and therefore making the games industry shittier. And they're like, no, we're not. And then have no proof to back it up. Jesus Christ, does that suck for a fucking explanation? Like, no, you is like the explanation here.
They've been fucking awful. They underdeliver. Everything is patched. There's always a day one patch and then a week one patch and then a month one patch because you're releasing products that are broken and people are sick of buying them. People are sick of getting nickeled and dimed. Yeah, there are one or two gotcha games out there. There are one or two multiplayer games
that was my fault. Sorry.
Out there with microtransactions that people will play. But that's it. They're not going to keep falling for the same thing again as you keep trying to include it and saying single player games are dead, traditional multiplayer games are dead. as you keep fucking thrusting on people really shitty games and then overlaying the slathering on top of diversity to try to make people feel shamed if they don't buy it. You've become Hollywood. You're bloated. You're spending hundreds of millions of dollars in half a decade to make a game that by the time it comes out, its mechanics and its functions and its gimmicks are old, passe, and shit, and nobody wants to touch them. And for every Harry Potter game that comes out, or Dark Souls, or
And this is coming from somebody that's like passionate about video games. Like, I would not consider myself passionate about games. I game. I own some games. Like, I'm the most casual gamer ever, probably. I can go months without, even having anything on Game Pass, on Steam, on anything. And like not give a crap in the world. It's not a big passion of mine. Where like I know Mr. Metokur is a gamer, like
Elden Rings, there are 50 games that come out that are fucking awful.
So this is coming
There's
from somebody who
out.
cares.
Why am I, as a console gamer, getting a game that can't hit 30 frames per second consistently, that isn't even 1440p, let alone 4 fucking K, on machines that were sold to me as being that? Why am I being sold games that are just getting released on PC and are better fucking running on a PC than on the dedicated console that they were built for? It's been 4 years of shit. So, after being robbed repeatedly and seeing the trends in gaming and seeing that people are just tired of it as you fire half your employees because they have positions that don't do anything for your game development.
That's
You're
very
reach
true.
out to narrative companies and what?
There's something even to be said about it's kind of been like an unprecedented thing. Unprecedented, not unprecedented. Unprecedented. In that, like, I've seen game companies like recently come out and do some development as far as like they'll make a game, it's their flagship first out of the box game, and it's their first time doing it. And it flops so hard, or it's so bad that they just fail as a company. Like, that's happened a couple times last year, and it's like literally like unprecedented. There's no precedence for this ever happening before.
Try to trick us into buying them? Well, this game with these microtransactions, this shitty Hollywood-like blockbuster AAA pile of crap, it's better now because there's a black woman in it, or this gay guy in a wheelchair. That's not gonna work. I'm sorry. Suicide Squad is shit. Redfall was shit. These games shouldn't be getting released. They're awful games, and people are sick of losing.
And even to say for like, you can put out an awful game and make it great. Like, I did not play Cyberpunk 2077 prior to all the patches and updates and everything that they did, but that game has gotten such outstanding reviews since that I actually was like, I really want to play this game, so I went out and bought it for myself. And things like it even being mentioned in the chat. It's what is it? Starfield was shit. Starfield was shit. I mean, there's a game that, like, holy hell, in order to sit there and play. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm just laughing at side chat over here. I got off on a tangent now. Damn it. Anyway, Starfield was kind of a shit show in itself, in that they hid accessibility features after levels of gameplay. So you had to play a game that to you could be like, I literally did my first stream on this, so this is the only reason why I know about this shit. But like, I've got vision issues, so for me to sit there and play Starfield, it sucks. Because the text and all that, and you don't unlock certain things until you play it far enough in the game to get them. So then I don't know. I don't understand it. It's shit. It really is shit. But yeah, you can have a shit game become good, like Cyberpunk did.
Losing their money. This economy is crap, right? I know everybody talks about, I don't mean to get political, but I know everybody has a conversation about inflation and politics and where things are going. But I think most people would agree that shit's overpriced right now. It's hard to make rent. Groceries are expensive. Shit adds up quickly. People are tightening their belts. So when they look at their hobby, they want to get bang for their buck. They want to enjoy the product they buy as a consumer, and they want to know that they're getting value for money. So I see nothing wrong with a Steam group or a Steam curator putting a list out that says, hey, Every game these people touch is shit. It's a waste of your money, and you're going to get fucked if you buy from them.
I love that you're losing to the streaming bot there, by the way, Teddy.
I think of that as a good service to provide to your average person. Is it possible some of the games aren't going to be totally crap? Sure. But if the majority are shit, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. And seeing the reaction of these people trying to punish them by getting the Steam curator page pulled down, getting their account banned, having journalists write about how great this company is, now people...
Absurd. It's fucking absurd. This is literally Gamergate 2 stuff. Like, literally, like, when you lay out what happened with the whole Gamergate shit, and, like, what's happening with this, like, again, we're going from, instead of feminism and women in games and stuff like that, to now even, I wouldn't say more radical, but even more, like, inclusivity of this and that. Like, to the point that it's making these games awful, because now they got to have 9 million factors in character creation, because you got to play as a non-binary Wolfie. Holy fuck, man.
Don't understand what they do, even though they're on videotape, blatantly...
Like, it's a game. You can pretend to be someone else. Like, nobody's even going to necessarily know if it's a solo player.
speaking and saying, no, we totally blackmail people and threat them. do you think that's going to work?
Teddy told me in private that he plays as a female character that's disabled with no legs all the time.
I mean, I don't know what the gimmick here or the game is. I don't know what your game plan is, I guess. Not that it matters. I mean, every article I've seen over the last month or two has been company after company slashing 10%, 20%, 30% of their employees. Must mean they're not selling video games, huh? Must mean the games they're making aren't that great, huh? Must mean the cost of development is bloated to shit, and positions were created for no other reason than just to be positions that paid. But it's always the consumer. It's always the little guy's fault. It's always the gamer. Us dirty gamers, because we hate those whores.
Imagine that challenge.
Gamer girl, go home. I gotcha. Just
oh my
second
God.
verse, same as the first. Yeah, I've heard this song before. So that's your Gamergate 2 chat. I don't know what's going on with it. I hope that curator page. Let me wish it a Nick Ricada, but earnestly, I wish that Steam curator page a million subscribers.
Damn.
You know, but I genuinely mean that. I'm being straight up with you about that.
If you don't get how that's an insult or a burn, you need to go check out that Ricada stream that I just did.
What was that? Yeah, 228,000. 250,000 people. That's a pretty good chunk. That's a nice sizable chunk of customers. 250,000 people. It's not bad. Trying to get the guy's fucking Steam account banned. What the fuck?
Wow.
I believe also, I think, if I remember this correctly, and I could be wrong, that the person that wrote the Kotaku article, it was a Kotaku one or one of the other ones, they were sharing it at the very least, talking about Sweet Baby Inc. And somebody said, oh, well, you know, this DEI stuff is racist towards white people. And their response was, you can't be racist towards white people. That's impossible. And that really started the next level of shitstorm. I love how they say we're not woke and we're not forcing ourselves. But then they go around saying shit like that. Or they've got this other woman who's on camera talking about scaring people into doing what they want.
Yeah, literally.
And I understand, too, that the company, Sweet Baby Inc., one of the founders would happen to be like one of Zoe Gwynn's 5 guys. Am I understanding that right? So there's like layer on layer. You know, one of the people was like fucking with, I think it was the Fine Young Capitalists was the group of game developers that got fucked with for not towing the line back in the day. But this person fucked with them, and now they're associated with this company. I bet you they make a lot of money. There's a lot of money to be made in this sort of shit. There's a lot of money to be made in this consultancy.
You know, Jim's brought that up before too, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that like there are people that get into that side for the grift of it, and like genuinely don't give a shit about the political beliefs. Will literally just be a bread tuber just because you can make money hand over fist, and that's disgusting. That's disgusting on a whole different level to me.
Stuff. You give that rubber stamp that a company needs so it can just, you know, tick off a box. They love it. Now, a corporation's a soulless monster. That's how they should be, to be honest. But they don't care about anything. They care about making money. So for some reason, right now as it exists, most corporations really believe that if they put up this facade of, you know, this kind of wokeism or, you know, this SJW stuff or, you know, this very hyper-liberal mentality, that's going to generate more revenue. That's why they always have the little flags up. That's why they always celebrate all these holidays. That's why they're obnoxious on Twitter and other social media platforms. But I'd like you to ask yourself how genuine that is. Why don't you go ask a company like so?
Hold on. Jim, this isn't about money anymore. Yeah. Somebody else commented Bud Light 2.0. Sorry, I'm reading chat as he's talking here.
Or Microsoft, why is it that they'll have gay pride parades and they'll show that in America and Europe, but when they go to the Middle East, those disappear?
That's a very big point that like I've sat there and noticed for a little while now. You know, there's a lot of catering. There's a lot of catering to your audience depending upon where you're at. So here, you know, they'll cater to the up and coming youth groups, being Gen Z and stuff like that. And they'll also sit there and cater to like just these more vocal crowds, I guess you could say, with the whole just woke stuff and everything else. But then you look at like what happens when they're in India, what happens when they're in the Arab Emirates. Good Lord, I cannot talk tonight. The Arab Emirates. What else? Like, you know, just different places like China. You know, what happens when these same companies are advertising there versus here versus again, Arab Emirates? Like, it's amazing how much these companies are just catering to the audience that they're catering to. They care about nothing other than the money. And the fact that you sit there and you think that this company gives a shit about you is laughable.
Why is it Sony and Microsoft and Capcom and all these others will talk about how much they love LGBTQ and how they are diehard for that and how they love diversity and inclusion, but the second it comes to like Saudi Arabia or Iran, all that shit fucking disappears. You're not going to see that advertised anywhere over there. It's real interesting. It's almost like they don't believe it at all. It's
there you
just a marketing gimmick.
It's all about the money.
So to have a fucking company, again, going back to this, that gives you that rubber stamp, and just basically you can say, oh, yeah, no, I love gay people. See, I worked with Sweet Baby, whatever the fuck. That to them right now in their mindset, that's valuable. That's capital when it comes to swaying consumers.
This is so awful, like in so many ways.
In fact, I would like to make that a challenge. You know, for any of the people out there, pass this idea along for me, chat, because I'm not going to get involved in any of this shit. Well, why don't we make that a challenge? If they really believe this, if all these journalists and game developers and consultancy companies really believe in the diversity and equity and inclusion, I want to see them make their main marketing thrust in the heart of Saudi Arabia. I want the next video game billboard to be released in Saudi Arabia to feature two black gay men eating each other's assholes with the tag word diversity and the Sony PlayStation symbol behind it. And I want that billboard in the heart of Saudi Arabia's biggest fucking city.
Why the fuck can I visualize this just because of how he talks about shit?
You need to fight for equality, and we need to fight where it matters. No more hiding from it. It's time to go to Saudi Arabia. And
come out the closet in Saudi Arabia. Oh my god. June is approaching.
Spread the gospel of the new word of wokeism. Yeah, and a gay flag too. I saw somebody chant gay. Just two black guys just going to town on each other like it's lunch. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. Live your best life. That's what the billboard should say. Live your best life, Sony PlayStation. Black guys eating each other's assholes. Welcome to Saudi Arabia. And maybe you have Kratos in the background. Give it a thumbs up. Right? And Laura Croft, give it a peace sign. But she doesn't have big tits because big tits are sexist and that's terrible. So she's flat-chested. Maybe Vosh will like her. He'll think it's a goblin girl.
Oh
so
my
god.
god.
Give it a peace symbol. You got Kratos giving a thumbs up. And two black guys just eating shit out of each other's asses. Living their best life, Sony PlayStation. Welcome to Saudi Arabia. Should be right at the fucking
I'm trying not to laugh too much.
Saudi Arabia. These billboards should line the road to Ramadan. Okay?
Oh my
the whole Middle East.
god.
When you go on your religious Islamic pilgrimage, you should see nothing but video game ads about gay sex.
Oh my god.
Prove to me that you really are committed to it. And I want Sweet Baby Inc. on the ground in those places, convincing people.
Yeah. That's all I can say to that. Oh my god.
These, Sweet Baby Inc. should be sent to every mosque in the Middle East to explain to them why homosexual sex is the best thing ever and why they need to play video games to understand that. So respectful and so respectful.
Wow.
But no, ask yourself that. Serious question though. Why is it these companies, when it comes to anywhere?
Jesus. Okay. I kind of want to move on from this. So we got Anita Sarkeesian.
All right, Chad, you're scrolling by awfully fast. Let me see here. Let me see. What am I being told? Go check something. So let me go check something. Oh my god, everything's slow as shit. So nothing's loading up, of course.
Boo.
It is now a good game. For Super Earth, I like that cheesy sort of sci-fi shit. I really like Earth Effect.
Okay, are we just reading donos
A lot
now?
of people seems to be doing well. Very high reviews. I love it when somebody's got a ridiculous amount of hours on there and they're like, yeah, it's pretty good. I put in 4,000 hours. It's okay.
Let's jump ahead a little.
And you feed it parameters, and it generates everything for you. So you tell it, I want to watch a season's worth of a show. Here's the basic premise. Here are the basic characters. And it makes it visually, not just audio, but visually, because it's going to reach the point where it can do that. It's like a desktop application where you make your own television and your own movies. There's no risk of copyright. You're not sharing.
I know he's talking about AI right now. There is actually a Metokur AI about, which is kind of funny. Okay, let's be right back. Oh, this is just going to be for subs and chats. Yeah. I think we got pretty much everything. So that's pretty much the whole Metokur stream. I'm kind of disappointed as far as like, I really wanted to hear the fucking magician story. I really wanted to fucking hear that. I'm kind of sad that he didn't pull the magician thing after touting it on Twitter the way he did. But yeah, there is a Metokur bot, which is kind of funny if you ever want to. The guy's been working on it and like slowly getting it better and better and better and better and better. But yeah, so that was the Metokur stream. I mean, honestly, that's kind of about it for tonight. I'm kind of happy I wanted to keep this stream a little bit shorter. So now I've got 2 streams that I also have to put into a video together. Thanks a lot, Sweet Baby Inc. And that completes my Mr. Metokur live stream. If you enjoyed the content, please come out on one of the lives, Fridays, 8:30 Central. And if you can't do that, let me know in the comments what you like or enjoyed about the content and anything I could do to change and improve. I'm always looking for different ways to improve my content, so if you share that feedback, it's greatly appreciated, and I will definitely look it over. Thank you so much, and have a great one. Bye.